Good morning. Welcome to this Thursday's edition of the Morning Connection. We are live at the Ligony Club. This is our first show here for the year. So, of course, we've got to bless the Ligony Club and JD's a very special way. And we thank those who have joined us online and who are listening to us on the radio. It is your presence that completes what we do here on the program. So good morning to all of you in Kingston, across the island, and in the diaspora, all the many places where Jamaicans have made themselves a second home. Good morning, Pastor Percy. What are you looking for?
Good morning. Trying to find something. But anyway, good morning to those of us who are here with us this morning. We welcome you. The sun has come up and it's coming up in all of its glory. And we're grateful to be alive again, another day.
Absolutely. This is free-flowing Thursdays where the conversations will flow freely. We'll do a recap on some of the issues that we've been talking about since Monday. A few issues have a lot of life left in them. We're still going to be talking about that accountability issue, which we have all been chewing on. The office of the Prime Minister has grown so fat that we need to see.
So fat, $23 billion worth of it. A Ministry of Economic
with
Growth
seven,
and OPM.
7 ministers without portfolio. And yours truly has been looking at what is it that our legal system or laws or procedures provide for oversight of the conduct, expenditure. You know, the Auditor General has been in almost every office, but we are yet to see some report the spending from the office of the Prime Minister. And it's a big issue now because that office keeps growing bigger and bigger. So we're going to still have some conversations about that.
You know, but you know that one of the ministries, one of the organizations that is under the office of the Prime Minister is High Trust NSDA now. Do you know that?
No, it's not with education.
No, man, that was shifted a long time ago.
It's considered a job creation.
It probably is in terms of training, so it's there.
Yes.
So, in terms of the budget that they have responsibility for, it is one of the catch-rich entities. Because all the GCT goes to Heart NSDA, because it's a merged entity with Heart Plus.
And it also means that the policy for it and what with the issues we saw in the press concerning the chairman of the trust. So now that throws a whole new light on how we look at some of those issues. We are calling for an audit of the office of the Prime Minister. It has really overgrown what would be considered the ordinary boundaries. Yes, anything that is problematic.
And NHT is under the office of the Prime Minister.
Yeah, because housing is there now.
Yeah, so a lot of entities are
cash-rich and developmentally important agencies.
Under the office of the Prime Minister. And
the army is there too.
The army is there too?
Because he's the
defense chief of the defense minister.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
What can we say?
What can we say?
Story coming to board.
Right. So that issue, I think we still have a lot of juice left in it. I'm also looking at, because of the project where we are launching, which we expect to start on Tuesday, I am looking at the importance of investment in digital infrastructure. Yesterday we were talking about digital literacy.
Yeah, right.
In another place. We're going to talk about it with you here as well, because all of you need to move now from your concern about being able to read and write on paper to being able to navigate the digital world, which has come upon us and will spread its influence in greater and ever-widening circles. So the IDB has published its report on digital infrastructure investment and its impact on the economies of the Latin America and Caribbean states. It is a report that has some guidance and some wisdom in it. A new school has been opened at the Tinson Pen. It's located at Tinson Pen. He's going to be with us for a spell this morning. So please stay tuned if you are interested in flying or in things aeronautical. If you have a child, a friend, or you yourself want to learn how to fly, at least develop a better understanding of what happens in that area, then he's an interesting guest for you to listen to. Those are the things.
Pastor one
Percival.
of the things, I think I shared this. Today is Thursday, so Monday or Tuesday, out of Ephesians, I said, arise from your slumber. Arise from your slumber. The general call now is for us as Jamaicans to arise from the slumber, to begin to take responsibility for all of the things that are happening, to not continue to look and to complain, but as somebody said yesterday, let every person in their own space arise and become au fait with the issues that are impacting their everyday lives. Even with the recent shuffle of the cabinet, somebody in the chat indicated they were shuffling the deck, and somebody close to me says, "Oh, Daddy, they're shuffling, but the jokers are still in the in the in the deck."
Well, you give away who that somebody is. You say,
no,
Daddy.
remember, I have a lot of children, so you could, which one
How
are
many
they?
call you Daddy?
Yes, and they call me Daddy too. Believe it or not, a lot of people that I have mentored look at me and say, Daddy, and I say, so somebody look at me one day and says, how much pitney you have? I say, well,
Anyway, I distracted you. Sorry, go
so,
back to your point.
but it arise from your slumber because the light has come. And so one of the things we continue to do is to shed light, to increase understanding of what the issues are, and then out of the information to make decisions that affect you in your house, in your family, in your communities. Because if we keep saying them and not saying us, how are we going to solve a lot of the problems, which for me, it does not take a lot of money to solve the problems. What it takes is a vision of where we want to go, the will to get it done. And as I have often said, when you have a vision for where you want to go in a business enterprise, the money will follow vision. Money follows vision. Is that true? In your context, in what has happened to you?
Money follows vision.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You have a vision
Yeah.
for something, and people buy into that.
Right.
And say,
I
this
think-
is what this sounds like something that I can be a part of, and so they invest their resources. One of our callers keeps saying, "Me have my $20, you know. If all of us have our $20 and put it together, we'll begin to shift and to change what needs to happen." So arise, arise, Jamaica, arise from your slumber. It is time to take action. And we have had it here in our country where one person decides and it becomes a tsunami in terms of what needs to happen. So so as we continue to speak about the issues, there is an election that is due any time now. I think by February 22nd.
Local government
election. Arise. Find out what are the real issues in your locale that needs to be addressed. And when persons come to indicate they're inviting you to vote for them, ask them the hard questions. And then look at what is their vision for your locale in terms of what needs to happen. And vote not on party, but vote on the individual and the reasons and the vision that they have for you. And I'm inviting independents to become a part of this process. Upset the apple cart in terms of what needs to happen.
You're inviting who?
Independents to become a part of the process.
What do you mean by independence?
Not the JLP and the PNP, but people who have stature in their communities to become a part of it and to offer themselves to say, this is what I need to happen in order to bring about change. Because you have the people at heart. Yeah.
I want to say a very special good morning to a new friend of ours. Was it last week Thursday we spoke to Errol?
Oh yes, yes. And he called me yesterday, and that is something that we are
When did we speak
exploring.
with him actually?
Was it Wednesday or Tuesday?
Last week or Tuesday, yes,
Yeah.
because
Out of Barbados.
from
It'd be
Barbados. Good morning, Errol. The singular Griffith, the
Yes.
the unitary Griffith.
Yeah, and even as we think about Errol, and what he's doing in his country in terms of seeking to change mindsets in terms of the students at the primary and the secondary level. The material that he has, which is the power of choice, I think could be easily used here. And so we need to explore some more in terms of what can be done. As I think a lot of the issues that we have are similar in terms of the change that we need to see happening. So good morning, my friend. We'll be talking soon, and let us see if we can use the material here in terms of bringing about mindset change in our young people, our primary school age children, our secondary school age children, and even with adults. You know,
All right, so I actually wanted to say a little bit more about the program which Errol has begun in Barbados, and which, as you say, is a very promising start in terms of changing mindsets. And behind your back, but knowing that you would not object, I have already invited Errol to partner with us by making a contribution of the learning, the strength of his program, embedding it into the program which you and I and others have already begun to bring to life. Yes. The first, well, we have not a launch, but really we hit the ground on Tuesday.
In a community. Working with a school.
Right. So, hi Errol, I hope you're listening. This will tell me if you're listening, because our pastor is about to send him a text.
Yes, he said, Errol, we're talking about you.
I've already been chatting with him because remember, Barbados is an hour ahead, so I felt no shame saying hello to him.
Yeah,
6 o'clock-ish this morning.
Okay.
I want to just read out the 10 core principles, because I think bringing it to home in the context of this discussion might bless someone this morning. The program is called The Power of Choice. And the first message is, I have the power of choice. Second, the only person in this world that I can control is me. Third, I am responsible for my every thought, every word, every action, and even my feelings. 4, I cannot control anyone or anything outside of me. 5, accepting the truth of who and what I cannot control places me in a powerful position to respond wisely and not react in every circumstance. 6, I can always seek to positively influence everyone and everything that I cannot control. 7, I will make wise choices every single time. 8, whenever I recognize that I have made an unwise choice, I will forgive myself as quickly as possible, learn, get up, and go again. 9, whenever I recognize that others have made unwise choices, I will also forgive him or her as quickly as possible. 10, I will seek to live, work, and play in peace with all others at all times. That is number 10. So those are the core messages behind the Power of Choice program. And we're very pleased. I am very pleased to have met Errol and to have him share with me what he's been doing in Barbados. It is not very different from what we are doing in Jamaica. And the reason I read out the 10 messages is because I want us to emphasize today, as we are speaking to people, the importance of informed choice.
Informed consent,
informed decision making, the importance of using information in a critical way to guide us in our decision making, because there are so many things happening at the same time in our environment, and if we miss one or two of them, it can really cost us a lot down the road. So persons have to begin to have a fairly orbital view of things. You gotta see everything around you. We need fish eyes, if we could call it that,
360 vision.
so we can see what is happening around us, and understanding that you do have the power, the personal power,
To choose.
to choose and to make decisions in your best interest. And it's not about selfishness, because everything is posed in a very egocentric way, but it is the foundation of critical thinking. So I love that program,
and as you
and
say,
we're gonna incorporate
Yeah.
elements of it, all of it, however we can do it.
We're gonna do it.
Into the training program that we are using for the remedial interventions in the education program for the kids and young adults.
I often say, seeing that we have the power of choice and we've been given free will, I say to people all the time, what is important in your individual context is not what people do to you. It is always how you choose to respond. And the choice that you make will cause you to fly and to soar like an eagle, or to continue remaining as a duck while laying on the ground.
That sounds disparaging of ducks.
Duck.
Ducks have their place.
I know ducks have their place. You ever heard the story of an egg was put with the chickens, but it so happened that in the eggs one was an eagle.
Story.
Eagle. No, it's not a person the chick story.
Starring person the chick.
Yeah, understand? And so it hatched, and the eaglet was responding to the rest of the chickens, seeing them scratching the ground and so on,
feeding themselves.
And then he said, no, something feels odd with what's happening. And then owl looked at him and says, why are you there scratching the ground?
Your
Do
mother
you not
should be
see
putting food in
what
your
you
mouth.
are? Do you not see what you are? And he says, you're an eagle. You know, to begin to soar. And when that realization hit the eagle, he took off.
Who made that story? That person is neither an ornithologist or a biologist.
Why do you say that?
Because baby eagles don't even scratch for food. They stretch their necks so their mothers can put food in their mouth.
So he was doing that.
So the chicks were actually a step ahead.
Ahead of him.
They were going for self-reliance.
You understand?
Anyway,
But
I'm
he
just
recognized
messing with
that he
your
was
story.
an eagle. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta know what you are. But do you understand? I mean, what I take from it, as I was listening to you, I was thinking that while you are an eagle in your very vulnerable stage, when you can't even feed yourself, you're yowling for your mother to put food in your mouth, you might feel envious of the chicks, the cute little fluffy chicks going around and feeding themselves, not knowing that your future is above the clouds.
Yes, it's above the clouds.
Yeah, so I've just remade your story.
That's all right.
That's okay?
Yeah,
okay.
man.
Because a lot of times you as a youngster may see kids at the stoplight making money cleaning the windshield, and you might sit in your parents' car thinking, oh, how I'd love to be making my own money. Because when you're very young, you don't even understand sometimes that what you're looking at, it doesn't represent freedom, doesn't represent anything that you should aspire to. I know when I was younger, and my parents, who were very strict Baptist church people, would say, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go here, you can't go there.
rebelling.
And you're seeing other people with a certain amount of freedom. You kind of wondered, what's up with that? You felt like you were being
Restricted.
oppressed.
Oppression.
You felt like you were being oppressed. But in reality, your parents were keeping you in a more disciplined environment to give you growth in your future. So
Give you wings that you could eventually fly.
so you could eventually become the eagle and be shot down from the sky by a hunter.
So that's important.
That's real life.
That's real life. And it says too, there's another story that is told that there's an eagle and a crow had perched on the back of the eagle. And instead of taking on the crow, it just began to soar, higher and higher. You know what happened? The crow
And
couldn't withstand.
The crow faint.
Yeah,
The
not only
altitude was
fainted,
too much.
altitude was too much. So the point of the story
Yeah.
is that when you come under pressure, the thing is to keep soaring, because when
That's
you are
fun.
up there like an eagle, you get a perspective of the situation.
No,
that
you rise above your enemies
yeah.
because usually, your enemies are committed to destroying you,
Right.
and that's their focus.
Right.
They don't realize that you might take them into a place where they can't survive,
Ooh.
and that becomes their downfall.
Yeah.
Yes, I've taken my enemies into many places that proved hostile to them,
Ooh.
and was my natural environment.
So
But
what
I didn't
we're
know
saying
it.
this morning, time to soar.
Yeah.
Time to fly. There's a gentleman that thing, fly. I think it's DJ Nicholson. There's a song that says fly.
All right, I think we flew past the usual break time. How are we doing? Okay. So please remember, we have a guest scheduled to join us. Stay tuned if you are interested in the matter of flying. You want to be a pilot. And they have, he'll tell you about it, but they have very interesting programs, because a part of what they're doing is building awareness of the importance of the career opportunities that exist in that field, and just building awareness and knowledge so persons can recognize that they have options available locally. You don't have to go away to Florida to fly school. And I had a conversation with, yesterday we came by the club just, to make sure that
everything was all right and in place.
Right. And I met 2 new club members who they say they're coming for breakfast. They're going to join us this morning, just to, to be here while we're doing the show. And one of them, I told him, he actually took my brochure for the flight school, because his lifelong dream
was to be able to fly a plane.
To fly a plane.
Oh,
so
wow.
I said, you gotta meet the guy this morning. So good morning, Dennis. And the other person's surname, I think is Garrel. I don't remember his first name. But I'm looking forward to seeing them. They were here.
But that's so interesting.
Yesterday morning. And we had a conversation. I said, having lived in, I've lived in Barbados, and I've lived in the British Virgin Islands, and I saw
Tortola.
a different, yes. I saw how important different modes of transportation were in the island environment. Jamaica, no, we're not big. We can't fit in the Demerara River, as my Guyanese friends used to tell me, but we are bigger than the other islands, so we don't. You need to be able to pilot a boat. You need to be able to fly a small plane.
Right.
You need to drive a car, obviously. You need to be able to walk comfortably long distances, steep hills because of the terrain. And I was stopping there, and one of the guys said to me, and you need to be able to swim. And began to tell me that many Jamaicans can't swim.
Yeah, that's the truth, I'm saying, how can we live in an island and most of us don't know how to swim?
So many rivers, and we're surrounded by water, and a lot of us don't know how to swim.
On Saturday, we went out.
What do you
for
think it is?
anniversary.
Why black people weren't encouraged to swim?
I don't know,
They thought we'd swim away from slavery.
Probably that's what I mean. But I found it so fascinating. So you are there, Gloria's downtown, and there are about 3 different. And what fascinated me, there was these little boys
just cavorting in the water,
just jumping off, and it looked like one of them couldn't swim. So you know what he did? He had inflated a bottle and was holding on. So he jumped with it, and over time he was learning to swim.
Learn to swim.
So that happened to me also when I was much younger. Rio Cobre. I told you about running boats and all of that. So teeth out the flour.
Meaning cooking, not swimming.
We run a boat.
Yeah, I know.
So we take a boat and we do wood fire and dumplings. Dumplings and whatever. And then we'd swimming in the Rio Cobre, the blue
water.
Or we'd be.
Lois said sometimes dye would be in the water.
All of that. Or we would be catching Jenga. You know what Jenga is?
Yes.
Crayfish. We'd go under the rocks and
Straight shooter is asking if we aren't a bit cold this morning. I don't know if anyone saw me shiver.
Yeah, that is true. We are.
It is a bit cold, yes,
man,
and
it's
good
cold.
morning to you. But nowhere as cold as in those foreign countries where some Jamaicans say, oh boy, I tell
Sorry
you.
for them.
Yeah.
Sorry for them.
Yeah, the producer said cowl
We can-
in those foreign countries. Here it is a bit cool actually. It got chilly. It's kind of rubbing my arms occasionally.
no, but
So good morning. You found us. Wonderful. I hope more people find us because I miss chatting with the online family.
They're beginning to find us, and I saw Michael Cole.
Yeah. What are we on now? This is the. Oh, this from the same YouTube channel from yesterday. You go to YouTube, you type in Best 100 FM dash TMC, and TMC obviously is the Morning Connection.
Okay.
Let's see if more of you can find us so we could have a lively discussion.
So, to some of the things we'll be looking at, the cabinet reshuffle, what that means for us as a country. Is it, as some people have said, it's just same cards and a few jokers are left in it?
How many jokers in the deck normally?
Just, it's two.
Two? You seem done, sir.
It's four. No, it's four jokers in the deck, right? Because a joker for each of the different things.
How many jokers in a deck of cards? I thought it was two. Never seen more than two, actually.
Two jokers.
So are you saying our cabinet has four jokers? You're saying we have more?
We have more jokers
We have
than
more
anything else.
jokers.
But Father,
Oh, my.
No, it's not
I
somebody else
repent.
was recording what somebody said online.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
they shuffled the deck and forgot to take
take
out
out
the
the
jokers.
jokers out of the cabinet.
But it
Oh,
seemed
wow.
like we actually have an excess supply.
Yeah, because the
jokers.
cabinet has gone up, and whatever, as the paper said this morning, the Prime Minister need to explain his cabinet decision. That was the editorial in the Gleaner this morning.
Well, I'm saying a extra special good morning to South Africa. I see that Nalini's online giving us greetings, Pastor.
South Africa is having their own.
Yeah, I
issues.
actually want to see more African listeners tune in and join us online because my belief and
South to South
this is where
cooperation is where our economic future lies.
yeah where and it just makes sense. Africa has been crying for the return of our children. This is it, Rachel crying for her children because they were not. I'm going
Rachel,
into
it's gone biblical now.
I've gone into scripture on
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I was
but-
thinking about Rachel and that's what I said.
Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Rachel. I'm going. Oh, okay, Rachel.
Yeah, but Africa has been crying for her children for a long time, and there are many of us in the diaspora who have a part of the answer.
to what is happening there.
Yeah.
And
And we
the truth
have to
is,
confirm those links, and we have to monetize those links. And as we struggle with some of the banking and financial issues that burden us because of our relationship with the Western superpowers, we are going to need to build our own.
yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody has said, and it has been touted, spoken about a long time, our growth potential is south-south, and we need to build stronger ties with Africa. There are so many opportunities there for growth. Well, Grace Kennedy has broken into that market. I know my friend who came on the program is also thinking of
They're
exploring that.
traders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he says, because remember when he came the last time, he spoke about New York, and he says his market is Jamaican and Africans, the ethnic market.
I mean, it just makes sense. The
just
truth
makes
of it
sense
is,
in
it
terms of
requires-
the food
But can
and-
I tell you, in order for us to do it, we have to build the infrastructure in technology that allows it to be possible, because the great distance between us, one of the reasons why things Western, it's so easy for us, is because Florida is 90 minutes away.
Yeah.
They're so close, English speaking. We do what's comfortable. You kind of just stretch out and touch
Default.
something.
Easy to default.
It is very easy. But technology, robust digital technology, the infrastructure to allow these relationships to really flourish. If that investment is made in them, we can do amazing things. So that is my segue into talking about the impact of telecom investment on the sustainable development goals that the world is pursuing, a set of development goals. And we have our own, the 2030 Vision 2030,
It's the word,
and we are
actually.
signatory to the Sustainable Development Goals that have been promulgated by the United Nations. Of course, the literature suggests, and I'm not disputing it because it is really common sense, suggests that I'm gonna actually read from something to show you that
IDB?
this is just a little snippet of the IDB's report on the impact of digital infrastructure investment. Investment in technology can improve social and development outcomes in a country through several channels. Internet access and enhanced telephone communication can improve access to information on employment and education, which will increase the chances that people can lift themselves out of poverty, which is the first sustainable development goal. Digital infrastructure and Internet of Things technologies can enhance agricultural sustainability and improve food security, and food security is the second development goal. Telecom can also reduce income inequality by connecting remote areas with cities and providing less developed countries and rural communities with work opportunities and free access to knowledge. And this is development goal number 10. They found as a fact, measuring the level of investment, that of $153 billion of investment in the region, this is the Latin America and Caribbean region, 74 billion was spent on improving mobile technologies.
She's using her phone to conduct business.
But
and all
for
of
the
that.
Caribbean, this is
74.
yeah. But for the Caribbean, the investment in fixed infrastructure had actually decreased over the period 2008 to 2017.
That is
Meaning
in terms of
the infrastructure that would
drive mobile.
absolutely. So everybody is probably building up, boosting the connectivity on the domestic side. But the baseline infrastructure that allows you to expand
To do
and broaden your reach across geographic boundaries, the investment in that has actually decreased. Right here in Jamaica, we see that when students went to online schooling, over 500,000 Jamaican students had no access. Decisions that we have taken regarding licensing and approval of companies in the space. I mean, Carousel was doing exactly that. License was revoked. That investment was taken off the table. At the time,
And
we
not has
had
replaced it.
we had probably about 300 million US already spent in the ground when the licenses were revoked.
I mean, 300 million Jamaican.
300 million US dollars in tower infrastructure, in software and hardware that we had spent money on installing and had in the warehouses, in fees and professional consultants and other services that we had paid for, and some were ongoing. For 3 years we were in the struggle with the government concerning the license. All of that investment to naught. $20 million was the fee for the spectrum alone, of which 7 million US was paid, and by the way not returned by the government. Still waiting on that one. So we see the government taking decisions regarding investment in the sector that actually prevents the growth, to the detriment of the society. We've had a universal service fund with billions of dollars in it that was specially set up to pay for and to facilitate the provision of internet services in schools and public spaces, and about all we see every now and then, we see the PR-led photo opportunities of a hotspot being opened up in a community. That is not going to change the future of your children, a hotspot in a community.
So that means
not
everybody,
when
if you
we
want
could have,
internet, you just go to the hotspot. When there's
Yes.
schools, everybody sit around the hotspot and do that.
in the day of COVID is a hotspot. And a hotspot is not going to give you the kind of performance
Connectivity.
that you need to have access to information for education or anything else, and or to run a business. You're not going to be out there in the park trying to run your business, be in touch with investors and your market and so on in different places across the world when the world is awake. When business is happening at 3 a.m. your time is 10 o'clock or 3 p.m. in somebody. You're not going to be out in the park in order to talk to your market at the hotspot.
So the
Anyway,
infrastructure
The
is
investment in the fixed infrastructure. This would be
that's in towers,
fiber,
cables,
fiber in the ground, undersea fiber of a certain capacity. That infrastructure at a reasonable cost, available to people all over Jamaica. That investment has declined.
and it's not only in Jamaica, the rest of the Caribbean.
The rest of the Caribbean, because guess what? It's the same players. It's Flow, it's Digicel, serving the rest of the Caribbean. So when they cut their spending in one place,
It affects everybody.
it's really the same. It's really the same thing. So we have to very sensibly make the right decisions concerning the infrastructure that we need. But we see that problem elsewhere, which is why the World Bank itself, when it did its review, it said that the investment of the future, to guarantee prosperity in the future, investment needs to be in those social services, in education, in health, for example. So we spend a lot of money building roads
And
when
I'm
we
saying,
should be improving
remember,
education and health, for
yeah,
example.
because if you invite investment and you says, okay, we'll put this up, can you partner with us in terms of the digital thing? The return on your investment is more significant than
Well,
roads.
the IDB report says that proper investment in digital infrastructure can increase your GDP by up to 12% in the medium term.
So what we're saying, so let's couple
Yes.
this together. So you do the investment in infrastructure, you deal with crime and violence. So potentially your GDP, based on what Professor Clayton said, it says 5 to 10% of your GDP is lost because of crime and violence.
Yeah.
So
So you get that back,
you get that back and you add
and you're 12%, and you're
so
up by
5
12%.
and that's 17%. Can you
Yeah.
imagine your economy growing by 5 to 12% in the medium term?
By your taking a sensible decision concerning one type of infrastructure. You don't touch the other things yet that you can do,
Yeah,
but
but
you
you-
have put in a pipeline, you have laid a foundation.
Don't use the
that
word
can-
pipeline. Remember,
yeah.
there is a big a butt of jokes. A former minister said, "It's in the pipeline. It's in the pipeline." The pipeline. that
We're
never
redeeming the word pipeline.
happened. It's a good word.
Yeah. Just by doing that, you can just shift just like that.
So what I'm hearing you suggesting and putting on the table is that
Give me back the license.
leadership, vision is crucial in terms of prosperity.
It is.
It is not just a word you say, but it is something you do. And a lot of people
It has
have alluded to what has happened.
real
in-
world impact.
I think it's Botswana, when the leader, against all of what was happening, said, he had a vision for what he wanted to do with his people. I know it is one of the fastest growing economies in all of Africa because he took some decisions then.
So I love it that you've brought us back to Africa, because
man.
that's where we started.
Yeah, because
we
yeah.
want to have the infrastructure in place to allow a true flourishing of that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that we started saying good morning to Nalini in South Africa.
So that is so important. But that's a very important thing. So leadership and vision is crucial. You remember I keep saying, and people may believe it is a scratch record. If you as a leader, focus on how is it you're going to move your people forward. All the decisions you take must focus on the well-being and the thriving and prosperity and flourishing of your people. If you do that and you do that well, then the people will always remember. You might do it for a 5 or a 10-year period, but what you put in the ground in terms of the vision and then all the things that are related to the vision in terms of the plan, and everybody's agreed on that, it takes you into the stratosphere.
Oh, yeah.
Which reminds us of what happened in Singapore. Yeah. Anyway.
Right. So I know we're going to return to this business of the importance of bridging that digital divide. Because we have a program that's going to come on shortly with we talked about it a lot, this intervention in education and wanting to play a part in helping students catch up.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
To really catch up.
I began to look at the issue of digital literacy and how we can include that in the program so that one, certainly for the kids in the underserved kids, when they leave our hands, they are better able to function in the online class environment. There is that. But beyond that, all businesses and government too are seeking to bring their services and their interaction with their customers online. More efficient in every way, less time, less cost. So if you are going to do well in the future, you need to be very comfortable in the digital space. And there is a language for it, there's an attitude for it, there's an understanding of things that will make you function in a more comfortable way. We don't want our children to fall behind and be, lacking in confidence and ability when they enter the work world and when they enter the global market. So that skill has to be taught, and we're including that in the programs that we're delivering. So I'm going to speak about digital literacy and perhaps have someone join us to talk about it. The other thing that has really caught my attention too, even as the Ministry of Education is emphasizing critical thinking as a part of how education is delivered, now I am also focusing too on critical literacy. When you teach people to their letters and their numbers, it should be done in a way that enables them to effectively, I'm going to use the word interrogate, but to effectively test and push and interrogate their environment, every situation in which they find themselves, for them to understand it in a way that delivers truth. So we're not reading history as given to us by the oppressors and think it's true because it's in the book. We can question it and look at it and move ourselves from a place of disadvantage. When you read a story that casts you as a victim, look at it and say, am I really the victim in this story? How do I shift from a perspective that casts me in a losing position? Can I turn it around and see myself in a truly empowered light? That is the focus that is deep in my spirit.
But I like the idea of shifting people's mind from always thinking of themselves as victims. Because if you see yourself as a victim, you think you cannot do anything to move yourself forward.
Well, you see the other man as being stronger than you all the time.
Yeah,
because he overpowered you once, that means he's going to overpower you all the time.
Change the narrative. You did that one time, but I'm coming back stronger to win over you.
Yeah. I am the descendant of slaves.
But that doesn't put
But the punishment has ended, and I am taking my natural position, right. Your time.
Yes.
But also to see that when you reverse that position, it doesn't mean that you're going to treat the person the way they treated you.
No, man.
Which is why we are here.
Let's remember that discussion that we had in regards to celebration.
Mercy?
Mercy, yes.
Rejoicing when you're, the teacher that already.
Those are principles that says,
Yeah, when you rise to the top, do not behave like something unspeakable because you're just guaranteeing that you'll be under somebody's foot again. All right. So we're going to take a break now. Our guest is here. We want to prepare him to join us when we return from the break. So please stay with us. This is the Morning Connection. We're happily ensconced in the cool gardens of the Ligani Club in New Kingston, Jamaica. And we are awaiting our delicious Jamaican and continental fare from JD's Urban Pub. Thank you for being with us. Just stay right there. We'll be right back. The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM. Good morning and welcome back to The Morning Connection. Your hosts, Minette Lawrence and Percival Palmer, live at the Ligani Club. We love to be at the club. Actually, we just love being outside the studio where we get fresh air and sunshine. True.
Like in a compound.
Yes, and at the table with us. Well, you were not there with me this day, but next time, for sure. With us at the table is Mr. Christopher Gooding. Are we okay? You can keep going. Mr. Christopher Gooding has joined us. Now, you know we've been talking it up about the new pilot school, training school, flight school. I'm going to let him explain exactly what he has on offer, located at Tinston Pen. When did you start? When did you open your doors? Good morning, Christopher.
Good morning to all of the listeners of Best FM 100.5, 100.21. I'm here.
All of them. All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Yes.
All of them. So I'm grateful that you guys invited me to talk about this new institution. We've been a registered company. We've opened our doors in 2019, but that was more like to clean out and prepare for the long journey ahead. We got approval in 2020 of November to teach ground school with respect to private pilot license flight training. And in August of 2021, we were approved to actually conduct the flight training aspect of that. So we started with a vision to bring a better aviation training institution in Jamaica where we can teach people to do pilotage of aircraft, flying of aircraft, to maintain the aircraft and to take care of them in all aspects. We've started that process. It was a very long working process with the Civil Aviation Authority of Jamaica. We've gotten this far and we have more to unfold. So right now, private pilot license, you wish to get that, we can facilitate that. That is your first step in becoming a commercial pilot.
Yeah.
But I do love it that you have emphasized these other opportunities for those who might have a fear of heights, but they love airplanes. They can do the work on the ground, maintaining it. Just talk a little bit more about the range of opportunities that exist on the ground.
Well, most of the opportunities exist on the ground. The aircraft only has 2 seats for 2 pilots. you need 5 maintenance team. You need 5 flight attendants. You need chef to prepare the meals in a specific way. You need handlers. You need loaders, ground services, flight planners, flight followers, all the way down to immigration, customs, and the taxi men. So there's a lots of opportunities outside of the cockpit or outside of the maintenance hangar in aviation.
Point. And you provide training for persons except for the taximen and the chefs.
Or probably flight attendants too. One question though, Chris. I'm picking up that you are...
A sweetness in his voice.
Yes, that you're not Jamaican, no.
No, I'm not, unless I go to Coronation Market to shop.
But it looks like you've been here a long time.
I've been here. It's approaching 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I first came to visit, and then after I visited, I realized my wife needed assistance with UE and studies and things. And then I decided to stay and get a job. And in getting this job at Air Jamaica,
okay.
Sorry, at Fly Jamaica.
Right.
I apologize for that. I observed the opportunities here in Jamaica. I observed the lack of a proper maintenance training institution.
Okay.
And that was our first desire to start that. And in any business, you must be adaptive.
Okay.
So when we started the process to do the engineering school, and the authority said, hey, we can best facilitate the process in these steps. So we're like, okay, we'll agree, we'll work with you to get the process rolling. So I saw the opportunity. The aviation sector out here was dormant.
Yes.
It needed reviving. It needed a whole lot of prayer and help. The skilled persons at that time has all immigrated.
Yeah, because Air Jamaica went, Fly Jamaica.
Yeah, Air Jamaica went, Fly Jamaica was here trying to do something. So we needed to, get that going. And I came from a very large aviation background in Guyana.
Okay.
I've left secondary school and went straight into aircraft maintenance.
Okay.
I always dreamed of becoming a pilot. Never could afford it. My mom was too poor to pay for
Okay.
that. So I started fixing planes. And then, 19 years of that here today. So
Please tell me that you have learned to fly.
I'm learning at the Aeronautical
at your
school.
own school. Excellent.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's an interesting story.
Okay,
So you graduate yourself at some point.
I was asking that's the next question. Are you a pilot? So you started with
maintenance.
Maintenance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everything about
but
it.
Actually, I wanted to become a pilot.
Okay.
So I went to the school. Said, hey, what's the cost? The guys were like, it's an arm, a leg, and a liver. And I started to cry.
an arm, a leg, and a liver. That's taking everything out of you.
For me, at that time, it was more than everything. Right? So I couldn't afford it. So I left, down-spirited. I was actually in tears. And this woman, she came driving and she was like, hey, where you going? Why are you crying? I was like, opportunity lost. And she's like, no, let's go to the engineering school. And she turned her car around.
She just
picked me up.
Chance.
Yeah, took me to the.
Are you serious?
So a young boy crying.
People just, stop people on the roadside and assist as best as they can.
Are you serious?
So she took me to the engineering school.
And our listeners need to know that Christopher is definitely under 40.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about in the dark ages when
because
everybody know everybody. So that's a real nice thing to know about Guyana.
She took me to the engineering school, and when they finished with me, I was like, hey, I can afford this.
Okay.
That's what I told myself.
Yes.
That wasn't a reality.
Okay.
So
Well, compared, I guess, to flight school, engineering school
Yeah,
looked
It
way
was
more
not an arm, a leg, and
achievable.
a liver. It was more an arm.
Just an arm,
and a toe.
a little toe, the big one. Ooh.
So I signed up. I didn't have a clue where I got the money from. So, but God provided.
Okay.
At that time, I started working in a hotel as a bus boy.
Okay.
So the tips came in.
Right.
So it helped.
Yes.
Working at the bar, that helped.
Yes.
Some more tips came in. So you got when you get your tips and things, and then you put the money together. So I went to the engineering school, and there's the Art Wills and Harry went Aeronautical Engineering School in Guyana. It's the only one in the Caribbean, actually.
Okay. So the guys who were trained previously in Jamaica went there for training?
No, Jamaica
Probably
would have
most
sent
of
them
us go
overseas.
to.
Overseas,
Yes,
okay.
yes, because understand now, and I'm sure you've picked this up, that there are some things in Jamaica that persons who can't give up the arm, leg, and the liver will not do,
Yeah.
cannot do.
Yeah, well, that's why we're here.
And so persons who are trained as pilots, for the most part, it's Britain or
The US.
or the US
Or Canada.
or Canada,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
or some are lucky they may go in the army and
Yeah,
are
so lots of
trained in
people
the
are
army,
trained and then go
and then you migrate into So what you're doing is transformative. It can change the future of young men who, like yourself, would have to leave in tears.
So I went there, I did my time as aircraft maintenance. I got a lot of experience, and that experience, for me, it was hard work. I was like, hey, I'm in slavery here. This is too hard.
Slavery. Okay.
Yeah, it was hard work. So, but then when I come to Jamaica, I realized that this is not hard work. This was preparation.
Preparation.
That's an
That
important
was-
point you're making.
yes.
The things that
That
you
was the
encounter,
sacrifice.
the things you encounter in life is preparation for things greater that are coming. Because if you never went through that process, you wouldn't be here today.
But you never see it until you get there.
But
Yeah.
that's why I tell people, go through it, man. Go through it. It's going to become a reality. It's all part of the process and the building for the
A
future.
certain type of character
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
is necessary to give you that
So
push.
after all those years, I come here and I see what's happening. I'm like, hey, there's opportunity. Guyana has a wonderful school putting out all these bright people. Jamaica has 4 times the population and 20 times the tourists. 4 million tourists a year.
Yes.
But no one is facilitating this. How can we make it work?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we ask ourselves, how can we make it work? And we figured that out.
The vision.
But then there was a problem.
Yeah.
The arm, the liver, and the leg
Okay.
still required. So we ask,
Always.
how can we change that?
Okay.
So we ask ourselves, how can we make it work? How can we change it? And then we set out to do that. So we want to build a school. that will
You
put-
have built a school.
Yes, we have built
Yes.
a school.
So they wanted to 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so and we build that institution. It has to grow now and develop into all aspects of providing training for aviators, from pilots. all
I
the way
noticed
down.
that the name of the school is Aeronautical School of the West Indies.
Yeah, we-
So give me you've loaded a lot of stuff into that name. Share a little bit of it
So
with
the
us.
Aeronautical covers
Yes.
everything in aviation.
Yeah.
At some point, we don't want to exclude any aspect of the training, right? So aeronautical school. Hopefully, we become an institute or a university. I'm speaking at it to be now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then further to West Indies.
Yeah.
While it started in Jamaica, we
But
want
it
to
spread
take
out.
it to the Caribbean and further.
And be an alternative to
Yeah,
the
to the US
the
and
US
Canada.
and Canada and
Now those
Britain.
schools have their advantage.
Yes.
But we training our own, there's a certain cultural
And pride.
aspect to the training that will be present that you wouldn't have.
In those other places,
Yes, in those institutions.
especially to those institutions are highly favored by terrorists learning to fly planes into buildings. In
Why
fact,
show that in the
I'm sure that your school will come under some amount of scrutiny
Had 30 months of
because
scrutiny.
because there will be the thought that I don't have to sneak into the US to learn to fly. I can chill in the Caribbean.
Well, you see,
A way better place to
the good thing
prepare.
about training people in the Caribbean, right? We had to go through the same scrutiny. The JCAA
Yeah.
is spared no scrutiny.
Yes,
Right? And they are
highly
they're
sensitive
following
area.
the ICAO guidelines, which is the international guideline.
Right.
So we basically conform to their guidelines, which conform to the international guidelines, right? And the good thing about training in Jamaica, with respect to what you just said,
Yes.
anybody come here with that mentality.
We pick
by
it
the time
up,
they
felt
hit
it
the
out
beach-
quick.
By the time they hit the beach,
Some rum and coconut water. The suicide run don't look quite as attractive. This business of paradise with how many virgins?
70 virgins.
With 70 virgins will just exhaust you. You
get
could
it
do it right here.
So you don't have to do that.
Absolutely.
why even bother?
Yeah. All right, we done mess up a whole religion right there. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so we like and appreciate the scope of your vision, and you've had some time in the society now, so you've seen the diversity of young men and women who could benefit from what you're doing. What do you think? You see a population that is ready for you?
There's a lot of potential.
Yes.
There's a lot of potential. My observation, I don't know if anyone observed it. Jamaica's greatest export is its people.
True.
Doctors,
Greatest
lawyers,
asset. Oh yes.
Doctors.
accountants, even all the way down to
Engineers.
farm workers
Yes.
Yes.
and hotel workers.
Yeah.
Greatest export. 90% of these people are educated overseas, return to Jamaica, then go overseas to work. We're trying to train them here. So there's a lot of potential.
And if you train them here well, and the economic returns come
the
in,
economic
they might actually stay.
And not only stay, but
that's one of our plans. Long-term
Yeah.
plan is to rebuild
Yeah.
an aviation sector that can take at least 1 million of that 4 million tourists in and out of Jamaica. We
What
don't
would-
want all, we just
what's-
want some, right?
Yeah.
Those
What's
ones.
the average cost of a two-seater plane?
Well, it depends
Cessna.
on what you want to spend.
Give me a range.
All right, so US dollars.
Yes.
basic. You can get a fixer upper for about 70,000 US dollars.
Now look at that. Some people pay that for a car,
$70,000 US, yeah.
Of course.
And then if you want the real expensive, brand new fancy things, you could go all the way up to $1 million US dollars.
Well, I would just want one that I could do tours. Take someone to dinner that want to go up in the.
100, 150.
Yeah.
That you could carry some bags. With your
That is right.
You could go to Negril in
Just
45
absolutely,
minutes.
yeah.
Interesting.
Because it's just the business opportunity side of it. I mean, most persons think to own a plane is something of another level, but in island societies, a small plane is a very useful thing.
You're sick and you need a flight out. What do you do?
Yeah. Even just to get from St. Elizabeth to Kingston, a sick person needing to be moved. I mean, there are some advantages to it that could just dramatically change how we think and how we move and the things that are available to us.
So, but what I hear you saying, remember the person has a $300 million US, yeah?
That only seats
They would have
that
a
only
third-
takes 14
They
persons.
would have a 300 planes.
I could have a fleet.
Wow.
And then Jamaica would have been bustling with, I would have need to train 500 pilots.
See, it's good for everyone.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
important.
What do you? I know that you're being courted to expand your school and to have a location in a rural parish.
Oh, well.
What do you think about the making what you do more accessible to persons outside of the
Well, it's a
city,
desire of
the
us,
city
you know.
area? That's a part of your dream,
It's a
actually.
desire of us
Oh, so
to
then-
take this to other places,
Yes.
right? However, the desire of us align with the desire of a higher power.
Okay.
The truth is, if he gave you we were talking about it earlier. When he gives you the vision, he makes provision.
Well, you put it best.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So you have the
our-
vision, and
It's aligned with a higher power.
yes,
So we looked at it and we was like, hey, let's make it work, because what you want to do, we want to do. So the only way we're gonna get there is if we work together,
yeah.
right? Some people have the resources and some people have the knowledge. You put them together, and then you get what you need to get. We
So
wanna
tell
go
me,
to some rural areas.
when we spoke earlier, I know either you or your colleague mentioned adding some element of mobility to some of the resources, like you could have a portable simulator.
Yeah.
Walk us a little bit through how you deliver this training that could make it accessible to
Well,
ordinary people.
So what we've done, we've basically built a simulator. Instead of making it stationary, we've put it on wheels. The objective of that is to take it to schools to get people
Let
interested.
me say what he said. You have built an
Simulator.
You mean
Yeah, the aircraft simulator. All
Yeah.
right, so let me break it down.
so you
Yes.
built it?
1 minute. We took a derelict aircraft,
Yes.
whole aircraft.
Yes.
We bought the fuselage.
Yes.
Stripped out everything.
Right.
And we buy all the parts online to simulate the electronic parts.
Okay.
Screen, television, swinging, air condition, and we put it in. We built it. We engineered it. My business partner and I, we engineered it. We're like the crazy scientists.
I've seen it and it works.
Right? So we just decided that this is what we're gonna do. So we took the aircraft, the seats in, where the windscreen used to be, we put monitors. Where the yoke used to be, we put yoke, we put rudder pedals, every bells and whistle back in it with an air conditioning to keep you cool.
Yes.
And it's on wheels that we can take to institutions. to
Oh boy,
generate
I
interest.
can tell you, those listening to us, especially our young men who in Jamaica, like you do career days, and like
Yes,
if it build
yes,
something,
yeah.
if you can do that, I tell you after this, you're gonna get people calling and say, when can you come to my school?
All right, so prophesy and bless the young man with a declaration.
No, but that is what's gonna happen. You are going to get many calls in terms of people having their career days, which happens in about February, March for most schools. It's beginning to happen,
Well,
even as I
that's
speak it.
wonderful, because right now what we're actually thinking to do is to do VR. We want to do virtual reality.
Right.
So we want to take it even a step forward.
Okay.
But can I tell you, we were speaking earlier about digital literacy for our population. And we're not quite there yet. We would be regarded as, are we functionally literate yet? We're not. We are illiterate. A handful of Jamaicans are comfortable and truly functional in a digital environment. The infrastructure just has not been deployed to support it. What you have done, and I did a tour and I saw the simulator, which is visually compelling because it looked like a plane.
Okay.
It's not, it's made from a plane, as he has explained.
It's pulled
So
on
it
a plane,
looks like a plane.
Right.
I think where we are in our development, it is the perfect tool to cause a young person to feel that this is relatable, this is achievable,
Something
I can do it. So before you take us to the VR Oculus experience, where you are is where we are,
I'm-
where it can become a true dream. I took 4 young men. My goodness, I actually missed an appointment. I disappointed someone who was waiting on us because I could not deprive one of them of a single minute of the experience, because each of them got to sit in the simulator to take off, fly,
Wow.
and land the plane.
Wow.
each of them, and it was accomplished. Each of them took maybe six or so minutes. They got to take off, just and learn how to work the pedals, and I mean, it was just an amazing experience. And I know at least 2 of them will come back.
Yeah,
Well, my son says he wants to learn all that happens on the ground, but he's not sure that he wants to actually go in
and fly. Yeah,
and fly.
There's 2 realities of that.
Yes.
When you take off from Tinson Aerodrome in the middle of Kingston, and you do 1 circuit and come back, it takes 6 minutes. That's how real the sim is.
So it's yes.
So it's real.
Oh, so when you hear me say it was about 5-6,
That's what
minutes,
actually happens.
Exactly
That's the
what-
reality
yeah.
of.
So the simulator simulates the real.
Yes, and it actually
And we
looks
use
like
the simulator to enhance the safety in our training. Because safety is the only priority we have.
Right.
Right? The number 1 priority. The other rest of priorities are there, but safety.
safety. Yeah, well, if you don't
So-
survive the experience.
So the
Sorry.
simulator brings
Yeah.
brings the procedure into it. So when you come to the school and we say, all right, it's time to do the simulator. Before you go in the aircraft and figure things out. And
No
make
safety.
clear
What
it's
are the
money,
safety things?
we take you in a simulator. This is a part of your ground school program, and we go through a few hours of the simulator training with you. This is what you do in bad weather. This is what you do if the engine stops working. This is what you do in this situation. This is how you fly and get here. This is what. So we teach them all the procedure. Now when they go in the aircraft, guess what? Practice time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we
yeah.
don't take you to the aircraft on the
Yeah.
schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get mayday.
So like one or two boys landed, one on the runway but turned sideways.
In crash.
One was in the grass. But you could see the disappointment and the calculation, and they were just very sober, appreciating that if this were a real plane, that is what would have been.
Wow.
And this is just 6 minutes they spend
and
in
this
the
was 6
aircraft.
minutes in the
So if they spend the 40
Yeah.
hours required by training, they
So
would
it's
have been
40
landing
hours.
on the line
Yeah.
straight.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the
before-
financial side of it.
Before you go to that.
Oh, before we
So, are you open to persons just coming down there and experience it if people are interested in what you're
Yeah,
doing?
we have
Oh,
experiences.
so that's where we were going.
Yeah, no, I mean in just to
Yeah.
get a taste of it
I know.
before, yeah.
No, man,
right.
that's where I was
Yeah,
taking
man.
him to
We
see
got
how
a lot of things for the public,
Okay.
So like yourself, I would invite you to come down.
Yes,
right?
to come
So-
crash a plane.
No, not crash a plane. We have to involve in that.
That's not the business.
Right? But you can come down. The public can come. Knock on the door. We let you in. So, you say, well, I would like to have this experience. So now, we give everybody a tour of the facility to get aviation out there. But for persons who want the experiences, they will have what we call experience flight. It starts at $70 per flight.
Okay.
So we take you for a 15 minutes, 12 minutes flight around Kingston.
No, I mean you have
The instructor,
yeah.
there's an qualified instructor, certified instructor. We'll put you in the pilot seat. He will
Yes.
sit down in the co-pilot seat where the instructor sits, and he will allow you
To touch the
taxi
controls.
aircraft, to touch the controls. He will allow you based on how you perceive what you can do. Some people just want to take photos. The girls, hey, I'm in an aircraft. take
What about the
photos.
girls?
They love it.
I know, but
have
we are.
more-
That's what we're saying.
Yeah. So
We're not handling the controls.
So the instructor
Leave
now
the
will
man alone.
proceed to take off, right? And then he will take off with the aircraft, so you'll have the whole experience of what it is like to be a pilot. You're in the seat. You have
That is your. What is it? Pilot for a day. You
no,
have
that
it
is
as
the
a.
upgrade to the flight experience.
Ah, okay.
So he will allow you now if he wishes to just shadow him, we call it, where you can say take a left turn, take a right turn.
Okay.
And you have your hands on the control, and he has his control, and he's showing you what you do. And then you have a beautiful view of Kingston, and then you'll come around, and he will land the aircraft, and you have a wonderful photo ops after.
Okay.
So that's for $70, but then you can go up if you want to go longer.
So it comes with a pilot suit,
no,
wings, hat.
no, a certificate. You
Oh,
get a certificate.
so it's a wear your own clothes. We don't
Because-
actually look like a pilot.
If I'm going for the pilot for the day, it's t-shirt and jeans. If you're going, it's as stunning as you are. No, I can't afford it.
No, man, I want a Top Gun.
That's a good idea. I'll take it.
Top Gun.
Yes, you must have a Top Gun outfit. And somewhere, absolutely.
Top Gun for the part of the market.
Yeah, but I love that you have taken something that's generally regarded as a luxury and you're making it fun and accessible.
Yeah. So and then the pilot for the day is one of the upgrades where we charge $150 US, but we provide a simulator part of it. We provide a classroom part of it. You get to do what we call a pre-flight of the aircraft, where you know, we inspect the aircraft before we go flying it. We don't just go flying.
It's
Check
not,
the tire
not
pressure,
like your
fine.
car.
Yeah, not like your car. So we do all of this before we go. And you get a more wholesome experience, and you get a 20 minutes flight around the city.
Yes,
Some people would say, "Hey, I just wanna go flying over my
house.
Your neighborhood.
right?" And so we say, "Here, you know, we can't take you flying over your property per se, but we can take you flying over that area, safe altitude there." Okay, let's go.
Okay.
So they can take the aircraft up for an experience flight for half an hour to an hour. Right?
Okay.
They can take photos, you know, do whatever little observation they want to do to the whole environment and things. So we have various packages. I'm actually thinking to develop a package where I can have a $50 flight.
Okay.
Right? It takes some amount of economic consideration. It will take a lot of work, so just do it. But I want to make it affordable.
To
I
most
want
people.
understand it's not a 1% thing. If you want to do the experience, come do the experience. We keep you safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
We
go
keep
ahead.
you safe. You don't have to worry. We've been scrutinized. We've been approved. You know, safety. Everybody's worried about a little plane.
Okay. So you have one
So-
plane, two planes?
Well, right now we have one aircraft that is in the school. We're working on getting more. Any smart businessman will know. We start with the small.
Start
and
with
we
what
grow.
you have. Yes. I meant to ask you now. So the training that you offer, is it for different sizes of aircrafts, or how?
Well, the training institution usually use around the trainers, which are 2 and 4 seater.
Okay.
That's what we use to train. It's most economical. As we grow, we will expand into larger.
And it's the
stuff.
same knowledge base that
It's the
that
same
takes
standard.
you into larger. All right, it's time for us to take a break. We've enjoyed listening to you, Christopher, chatting with you. Please stay with us, and I hope the listeners are enjoying the conversation that we're having with Christopher Gooding, the latest member of the flight training fraternity in Jamaica, located at Tinston Pen. Please stay with us. We're going to be right back. Our guest today is Christopher Gooding, and we're having a good time.
And he's
with
a good
Mr.
man.
Gooding. Oh, Lord, the punning. Christopher, so in the break, you mentioned that one of your ways of engaging with the young in Jamaica is a club that you've started. I do want you to talk a little bit about the club.
Oh, yeah. So we have a club. It's called the Aeronautical Club of the West Indies.
Okay.
So, you know, the club, the school, institute, university,
Makes
we're
sense.
going somewhere. So that club provides basically an incentive to encourage people to come into aviation. It's also heavily subsidized by the school. So the club provides a very economic training and familiarization to young people. So ages 12 to 16 can join the club.
12 to 16.
Yeah.
I can't join the club.
Well, we can make you honorary member.
Yeah.
Since you're chaperone, you know. So yeah, chaperone. So they can come in the club as early as 12.
12
We do
to
accept
16.
sometimes a little younger based on their maturity.
So how would they find you? I mean, someone who knows that their son or grandson or granddaughter
Well,
would be interested.
First of all, we're located at Tinston Pen Aerodrome,
Right.
Kingston.
So let's
We're-
say out the number and an email address if there's one.
So they can WhatsApp us on 876 454-7547. Right? We're also on Instagram as the Aeronautical_school. All right. So we're also there. We have our website www.aeronauticalschool.com, and the club is also there, a part of that, and they can join the club. Now the club, it takes a donation to keep it going. It's $20 a month to be a club member, and in that, being a club member, you get a lot of free training. In the entire 2 years of being in the club, you'll get a PPL ground school course over that 2 year for free. All the exposure, you get to use the simulator at a ridiculous reduced cost, like $30 an hour instead of the flight school rate.
70 at 5 minutes.
No. So the the club is there to provide and to guide and to focus. Now, a lot of people do not know how to get into aviation, what paths to take, how to become a pilot. The
Yes.
club helps with that. We have to
Right.
connect you with people in the industry to guide you, because you can be misled by people out there trying to get your money out of you.
Yeah, but I also love what Percy said about being involved in the career day opportunities that is a staple in our education
Yeah.
system. once you get, tied into that system. And I think Percy has some serious networks with the PTAs, and
we've been having some challenges in that area.
Right.
When we reach out to places, they really and truly don't know of us in the capacity to take us really serious, so they always put us on the back bench.
Okay.
Because what I've learned over time is that a lot of people have done evil and scam schools out of things. So when people, unless they know of you, like how you guys now are vouching for me, they probably will open the door a bit easier.
No, man, I think Pastor Percival will definitely.
I was just thinking about
Make
it.
something
So for
happen
the
on that
simulator
score.
to go to a school, is there a cost involved in terms of going?
Well, we take it for free.
transport it.
We don't charge. All we ask them for is some electricity when we get there.
And that's it.
Yeah, we don't charge nobody to take anything nowhere.
This is no part of your marketing and promotion and building awareness for the long-term.
Well, I
growth
won't
and
say
prosperity of the
marketing
school.
for the school. I just say promoting aviation in general.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
for your own business.
Yeah.
Aviation.
So because I mean, in order for aviation to grow, people must be aware of it.
And this is available.
Yeah. So we never charge.
You're
them.
pioneering, so
Yeah.
that's some part of it is you bear that cost.
Actually, just thinking of it, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take all the youngsters' name that helped build the sim, and I'm gonna put it on the simulator, so people can see the persons who helped to build it. Their ages range from 14 to about 25.
Through your club.
Yeah, through the club. The club members who assisted in building the simulator and bringing it to what
That's
it is.
great. That's great. So you have brochures with all of that information. You need to repeat again how to get in touch with the school, the web page, because I'm just looking at it and saying this actually happened in Jamaica. Simulator built by our own young people.
Of course.
Okay, imagine that.
Yeah.
'Cause I thought you imported a simulator.
No, we it's very expensive to acquire, and then the tax is very high. So we decided we're gonna build it.
Build it.
So it's
Absolutely.
another
so
thing.
that's the engineering
Innovation,
side.
innovation.
So it's another thing Jamaica produced.
Yeah.
We can add that to the
The list
production.
of awesome
Yeah.
So
achievements.
so it was built here. It is a
Yesterday I met a member of the Ligani Club here and shared with him that you were going to be with us this morning. I'm keeping an eye out for him because he said he would pop by. It had been a dream of his to learn to fly. So they took the brochure that you gave me, your brochure and your card. So if someone calls you and says, I got your brochure from a lady, that might very well be him.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he comes by. So do you have more brochures? And
I'll have them in the car. I didn't walk with them.
okay, so
so-
you can leave a few with us.
But
so
you
we
also
can
the
share.
contact information, and all I want people to remember. The number is very easy to remember. Everything. Just remember aeronauticalschool.com. Just put that in the website.
Yes.
aeronauticalschool.com. So easy. Everything is there.
Easy to find online.
Yeah.
is what
So
you're
for
saying.
somebody like me who
One
want
of
to learn how
our-
to fly, what would be the cost to do that?
Well, the private pilot license, right now our cost is estimated at $12,800 US.
Okay.
Some
And that program would be completed in what period of time?
5 months. Five
See?
months.
There it is.
So,
you're
they-
5 months away from flying us to Negril.
Well, 5 months away. Yeah. The people always say the cost $12,800 seems high when you compare it to the US. The US advertise very low, but when you get there, it's about $10,000, $11,000. But being in Jamaica, you don't have to pay rent. You don't have to worry about student visa.
You don't have to. Yeah,
don't
you
have
don't
to
have
worry
to take a
about
plane and go there and
school shooting. You don't have to worry about a lot of things, And then the economic value of doing it here is also reinvesting in your country. And then if at any time you have any financial situation, we understand. We pause your course or we help you along the way. We have payment structure. Some people come in and say, hey, $1,800 US for ground school. I can't afford it. I say, look, pay 50% up front, and then the rest you can pay 25%, 25% as you go along. Then some people say, Chris, 50 is too high. I said, I have part-time for you. $550 US down. We give you all your training material you need, and $225 US monthly for 6 months. Right away, they can afford that. So we have payment structure in place.
So the young man who was crying and walking away from flight school,
created something for
Has that
people like
hard
them.
for people.
Yeah, that's more manageable.
Yes,
Yes,
no,
yes,
you
yes.
don't want anyone
Yeah,
crying
well,
and leaving.
when I
their
got money to start my flight training, I realized the trouble I had. Well, I remember the trouble I had, and
Yeah.
I realized the trouble Jamaicans are facing, and I decided to solve that. Right? So
By just being innovative and very considerate in how you structure your thing.
Accreditation.
One of the listeners online says, "Good idea. Have simulator. Will travel." Good morning, Earl Brown, and he appreciates that you are using convenience as a way to get to people, and I think
yes,
that's
it's expensive for people to come to us.
so take it to them.
Yeah, if 10 persons from St. Mary come to us, there's a whole lot of money on the toll. But if we go to them, it's just one money.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah. And when you go, you might get 20 instead of 10. Yeah.
I must applaud you in terms of the innovation. It always strikes me in terms of, as Jamaican, West Indian, when we get into a situation, we always are finding solutions. Like people migrate and go overseas, and they say, I prefer West Indian to work for me. Versus America say, why? They say, well, they are not bound by the paperwork that you must tick. They go to the solution and find it, and so they are very valued as workers all over the world, because we all are able to think out of the box.
because we
There
live
is
on an
no
island,
box.
there is no box.
There is no
One box.
All right,
One
I
box,
would-
you know.
I would absolutely love for one or two callers to be able to share with you, if possible. So let me just announce the number that persons can reach us on. It's 876-361-6583. So on Thursdays the numbers are different to call us. Please remember, write it down, 876-361-6583. That's the number to reach us this morning, because we are at the Ligani Club, where things are a little different, but it is so beautiful. We can't resist being here, even though it might make it a little challenging for you to get through to us.
In the break when we were talking, he was talking about his early beginnings. And you made a comment, and I found that so instructive. He says, where I come from in Ghana is similar to the inner city.
Yeah.
Inner cities of Kingston.
Yeah, and he says his mother never allowed that move them to the country. It was more relaxing. So you have come from very humble beginnings.
Yeah.
That's why you were balling when you wanted to fly, and they tell you what the cost was.
Yeah, I think it really made you understand what is valued and what you have. But don't stop. Everybody wants to make it big. Just try to make it.
Well, recently our Prime Minister was crying, and it elicited mixed reactions from persons. You cried, and it boosted you to a place that has brought you to Jamaica, where you have opened a flight school to give opportunities to many. Crying can be a turning point.
I cried many times.
So you've had many turning points.
Many times. You know how many times people thought I would have given up and gone back to Guyana?
Well, so now
But I
you're
cried it off.
You cried it off.
Yeah.
So the tears are important.
Wash away that.
You wash away what is happening.
So now crying for you is just one of the tools.
No, it's a passion, the drive. You kind of, it helps your eyes to see clearer.
Okay.
No, I mean, listen, I don't care who you are. Strong men cry.
Okay, I believe too. Yeah, hallelujah.
Jesus wept, so
Yes,
do
man.
me.
Yeah, and
So,
it
yeah.
proved him. He was why he cried in I was moved with compassion.
Yeah.
Yes, and to move forward, to be able to help, to find solutions. That's what it is about.
This is my third interview I'm doing in Jamaica. And the first interview made me cry. Because she asked me, why am I doing this? What brought me here? And it was too passionate.
We're sure
Because
not
if
gonna ask you
I
that.
laid my struggles out, it's
That's that ball.
But you look like you might cry again too.
so
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, always we say that tears is a language that God understands. And
Very
you
powerful.
said Jesus wept. The ability to be moved by even your own circumstances. Yeah. I tear up quite frequently myself. Because sometimes the journey the journey just seems harder than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
But-
journey always.
Yeah.
I think when you cry is not a definition of weakness. I think it's compassion.
It's an overflow
You
of
know,
emotion.
It show of strength, really.
And it is
Yeah,
that
you know,
your heart can be moved, whether by whatever emotion that moves you, that it's the test of your humanity. So, it's just a matter of how people read it.
Yeah,
Some people read it in some very uncompromising ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had to learn to cry at a point in my life, to be honest with you.
You serious?
Yes, I remember the counselor I was during my A-level college days, and I remember the counselor who said to me that it's okay.
To cry?
Yes, it's okay. I was just fierce and angry and fighting and taking no prisoners, and you just couldn't. It was just a reaction to a lot of the things that come at you, young person, meeting your own little challenges, whatever they were, and realizing that in order for you to find your voice, and voice now is not necessarily to speak your mind, but it is to articulate through the work of your hands or the speaking of your words, to articulate what you want, your place in the world, where you want to be,
Taking
and
the place.
find that people are not really
least.
allowing it
Yeah.
for one reason or another. Sometimes it's just like the circumstances themselves conspire against you, and then there's a point where you double down and you say, you know what,
I'm gonna do this.
I'm fighting
whatever
my way out
comes.
of this.
was also mothers that just give birth. They cry.
Well, that's real pain.
No, they cry too, but you could understand that
teasing.
crying
Yeah.
also it
Yeah.
it can when you
It's
reflect on
the
your
fight
journey.
for life,
yeah, you know,
you've
some
been the
people-
newborns cry
yeah,
when they take the first breath.
Yeah.
It's that fight for life.
yeah. So you
So-
sometimes you look back at the
Yeah.
struggles you overcome and it just brings tears to your eyes because even you sometimes don't know
Yeah.
that you overcame. How did I?
How did I do that? You ask yourself the question. You're looking back and saying, really? And I'm here now, and that is what was.
Yeah,
Man, I
and
mean,
then sometimes you're so far into the journey that
you can't
Yeah.
give up.
You
Yeah.
can't turn back.
No, turn back.
You
Why?
cannot turn back. You
No.
cannot turn back.
You know?
Can I ask you, even as you're reflecting now, and I did prepare you, I told you that these conversations that we have go to,
You could never be prepared.
I tried to tell him, that we touch hearts. That is the idea. We really want to get into your blood. But when you look back, what is the thing that rises to the top of your memory? Just now.
Just now? That
Yes.
I-
When
oh.
you, what rose, what did you see, or where did you see yourself? At what point in the journey?
My mother choosing between a textbook for us and a shoes for her feet.
Ooh.
She
now you
decided
want me
to
to
get in
cry.
textbook versus shoes.
And
I-
you say us, so how many of you? Two boys or a girl as well?
Boy and a girl.
A boy, the matched pair.
yeah, I can understand that. And
So where's your mom now?
She's in Guyana, she's doing very well. No COVID. She dodging it. She going to take the booster. All excited.
Yeah.
So
She's
you know.
been to Jamaica. She's seen what you've done here.
Yeah, I brought her here. And she prays every day. She
Yeah.
Yeah, I
she
tell people
prays
all the time, if nothing else, I know one person pray for me, my mother. So you can identify with that with me. What if nobody else pray, my wife pray for me, and my mother pray for
Even
me.
when you're not praying for yourself, your mother praying for you.
Yeah, you understand. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
so-
an important thing.
No, it's
So-
funny too.
Yeah,
I
man,
hear
so that-
Lowell's mom died 2019. 2019. 2020? 2020? Early in COVID? Yes, that's true because we had to observe COVID restrictions for her funeral. And I watch Lowell now carrying the mantle of praying for the brothers and the sisters, and because we knew for sure
That
that mother was praying, knew for sure. And once she passed away, we couldn't let it fall. Like Elisha and Elijah. Somebody had to grab the
yeah, the
mantle
mantle and carry it forward.
and carry it forward. So I watch Lowell now doing the praying. So that's a great insight into what has brought you here. Success is guaranteed, You're riding on the wings of some powerful energy. Success is guaranteed.
All right.
So we're going to take a 2 minutes break now because we're at that point. When we come back, we're going to ask one or two callers to reach through the mist and find us. 361-6583. The line will be open for you. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. This is the Morning Connection. You know, we are live at the Ligony Club in the beautiful garden setting, New Kingston. Wow, you don't ask for better mornings than this. And we are especially blessed with the presence of young Mr. Christopher Gooding, who is sharing with us not just the dream of building the flight school that he has established here in Jamaica, but a little bit about the journey. And it's always good to have the confirmation that movement, the claiming of the mountain. Early in the week we were talking to persons about
claiming your mountain,
and this we were drawing from Caleb, who at what was it 85 at 85 years old said, I am as strong today as I was at 40. I went into the promised land and I will take that mountain.
Give me this
me that land.
Give me the mountain.
Yes. The truth is, you know, when he came back from that first trip, he told Moses what he saw.
Good land.
That's the land he wanted, and Moses said, that shall be yours. So he was only asking Joshua to honor what had already been spoken for him. And he claimed the mountain. Later on, his daughters claimed their share of the mountain.
Yeah,
too,
it's true.
Because, well, you know, that's a story for another time. Gender equality and all that. But, you know, I really thank you for sharing with us as you have. We try here on this program to peel back a layer or two and expose the heart and the soul behind how decisions are made. When we see people soaring, really, what brought them to that level of excellence? Oh, we have a caller online.
Okay.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning, Frank.
Hi, it is you, my brother. Good
Alright,
morning.
so you do. Good to see you.
Good morning, Pastor.
Yeah, man.
Do you have a question for our guest, or you've just called in to share with us?
Yeah, not really a question, just a share, you know.
Go ahead.
I really appreciate what he is dealing with, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, 1 second, Ras. You know he can't hear. I just realized.
Oh, you can't hear.
Oh, no, hold on. I want to make sure that
Let's hear it.
Okay, good. Sorry, I'm making sure that our guest is hearing you, because you know we're out of studio. So go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question I would like to ask is that like one have to be a members, or one have to join, or you go about, like, you know, because you know I have that son who would like to, you know.
Yeah.
What age is your son? He's in the 12 to 16?
He's 18.
He's 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so he would be ready to enroll in a program.
Yeah, he can enroll in the program. However, if he can't enroll in a program, he can join the club still. The club, it caters for beyond 18, beyond 16. It goes all the way up into senior citizen age group if you wish, because it's for aviators.
Right.
So simply, it's easy to remember, just aeronautical.school.com, and once you get to the website, you click programs, you'll see the club, and you just click on the club and you register.
Or if you want to enroll in a particular program.
If you want to enroll in a particular program, it's all there. Yeah. I'm refraining from giving out the numbers because people don't remember the numbers, but you remember the name Aeronautical School, and then you find us.com, you find us. You know.
Or you can call us back, Percy or myself at Best FM. We're gonna keep information on hand. So
his ambition is to be a commercial pilot, you know.
Yeah, man.
Well, we're working on that program. We're not approved at this time to do the commercial program, but we're currently developing it. It takes time to develop and get it approved. It has to be approved.
So can you start as a private pilot?
Everyone has to start as a private.
Everyone
has to start as a private pilot, and you get your experience, and then you
and
build
then you
up.
can.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So the school is still an option.
Yes, it is.
All right. Excellent.
Okay.
Well,
I really that's really refreshing. I really like, you know, what we start, you know, because, you know, we need something like that, you know, in Jamaica, because one only can go through the different the JDF for something like that, you know.
Right.
So when you have a man I deal with it privately, and you know, you have to really, you know, give him respect for that.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You heard this story though. You heard the initial when he says he wanted to fly from he was 5 or 6 and he went and they tell him say charge a arm, a leg and a
liver.
And a liver. And he was crying and somebody said, young man, why you crying? And she carried him to where he learned to be a flight engineer.
Aircraft maintenance engineer.
And this is a dream, coming to Jamaica, looking at opportunities. Because that's such a powerful story. Don't give up on your dream.
Yeah, for real, you know.
Yeah, man.
And Jamaica is more populated, you know.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Guyana, so.
Yeah, that's what he was alluding to. That we have 4 times the population.
4 times the population, and Guyana is 22 times the land
This
mass.
size.
Yeah, and Guyana is what, 22 times?
Yes.
I was saying what were 15, you know, but
No,
you know,
20.
Guyana is very, very big, you know.
Can't go there and get
know.
lost, boss.
My friends used to tease Jamaicans and say that Jamaica can fit in the Demerara River.
Essequibo. The Demerara River is 1.1 mile wide. So
I always wonder.
Is the Essequibo? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so it wouldn't fit in the Demerara.
No.
She was lying
Yeah.
then.
Well, I have an interesting story with Jamaica and the big river in St. Thomas. Somebody say, hey, when you go into Portland and you cross the big river, look for me. I reach Portland, there's a sign say, welcome to Portland. I call the person and say,
see no big river.
I ain't see no big river and I'm in Portland. And the man say, you
Yeah,
pass
the
it a long
question
time.
to
So what
the
big
question to the pilot.
Yes, here's a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
By the way, Guyana with Guyana population, all the police, all they get the police the border Guyana.
How the police border Guyana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wild animals do that. The jungle.
Because most people live on a strip of coastland.
Yeah,
I
most
noticed
people,
that.
but Guyana is Amazon jungle, so who nobody want to go be trekking there? I mean,
Nature police itself.
yeah. But the police they move around with helicopters and aircraft, and they do a very good job. But most times the terrain is very difficult, so the police they do
So
a
the
good
truth is, if you manage to penetrate the border and you make it to the coastline, you deserve to survive and be there.
job. Yeah, man, you deserve.
Yeah. Because British Guyana bigger than French Guyana.
Yeah,
Of
it is
time.
twice the size.
Yeah, twice the size.
I am
you
yet
know?
to visit Guyana, so I hear you talking, Russ. I get envious. It's the one Caribbean country that I've desired to visit.
I've been
Yeah,
Not yet.
I've been to Georgetown already.
Yeah, I haven't been.
Georgetown is unique.
Yeah, Georgetown is very nice. Now, what I like about Georgetown when I went there, it's more. You see the building them,
Pure wooden
mostly
building.
built with board. You know, like it's like how Westmoreland
Or
used to have a
family.
lot of board building. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's
Okay,
Georgetown.
so it's picturesque.
Yeah, well.
All right, Russ. Thank you very
32
much.
species of wood.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
32.
Thank you.
Species of
Yeah,
wood.
thank you
Yeah,
for
okay.
really weighing in on this. Sometimes the guests.
Yeah,
don't
man, I
get
really
the
appreciate when
opportunity.
really I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. Have a good day.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
you.
Blessed. Yeah, blessed.
Before I forgot, you were speaking about Caleb's in the mountain.
Mhm.
When I got to Tinson-Pen and I started to do what I do, one thing I keep in mind, one Bible quote I keep in mind, I can't remember which scripture it is in. You being a pastor could help me, but dry bones.
Mm.
Oh, Ezekiel.
Can
The
these
valley
dry
of
bones
dry
live
bones.
again?
Can these dry
Bones
bones?
live again.
So
Surely.
a lot of the aircrafts were parked up there and required maintenance,
Mhm.
and there was no constant and sustainable maintenance. So I used my maintenance license and start working on a few of these planes to get them flying for the owners. Sometimes I do it for free.
Just,
I
yeah,
just
sort
do it.
of.
So it bring back a certain life, a certain vibe to Tinson Pen. So
Absolutely.
planes start flying again more often. People start get reliable source of maintenance, and the school get an opportunity to
So
live.
the
and
truth
grow.
is, you could have just sat down here and done well providing maintenance, but you chose to go further, and because you sound like you could do
And a
make a
dream.
good living
Maintenance?
maintaining those.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that it would actually be easier, but
Yeah.
life is not easy. So
No,
let's
no,
take
no,
on
no,
the
no.
challenge, right?
Yeah,
True.
you have a mission. All right, let me just repeat the number for those who are trying to call us. 361-6583. That is the number, 876-361-6583. 6583. Remember, we're live at the Ligani Club, where the numbers you're accustomed to calling in the week, don't call them this morning. Please get us on this number, 361-6583. Our guest is Christopher Gooding. I mean, you are
Good
what?
man.
Chief cook, bottle washer, CEO, chairman,
No, I'm actually the director of maintenance.
director of maintenance at the Aeronautical
Must you have a
School
CEO
of the
separate
West
and apart
Indies.
from you?
Yeah, we have an accountable manager is the term. That's my business partner. Together we started this, so
Is he Jamaican? Or
yeah,
it's
he's
another-
Jamaican. He's
Oh,
Jamaican.
let's
He's
give
an
the brother a
aviator like
hail.
myself.
Oh, what's
his
his
name is
name?
Gary Paul Tomlinson. So
Gary Paul
Tomlinson.
Tomlinson.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
he
Good
couldn't
morning,
be here
Gary
today.
Paul. Thank you for,
Jamaican.
investing with our brother from Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what is his expertise?
He's a private pilot, a businessman, and he wanted to bring a desirable and a better way of provide flight training, and I wanted to do the engineering.
So
So
you
we-
partnered.
Yeah,
and,
we partnered and we come together.
And we are the Jamaica and the West Indies,
Are the
Caribbean,
better for it?
are the better for it.
Yeah.
So, are you enrolling students from other islands? Has that picked up for you as yet?
But because of COVID, we have kind of put that on a backseat. Challenges with COVID-19 in terms of all the travel restrictions, and getting people tested, and getting people into homes.
And
I would
the
feel guilty
quarantine
exposing
period
people
and so
to
on. Yeah.
unnecessarily, and then just for economic gains. So I've preferred to just let's wait it out. Let's wait a little. It's not gonna be here forever. It's one of the lessons we need to learn as a people, Or maybe this is a test from heaven.
Or even if it's here forever, we will
have to
adapt.
learn. We have
But
to learn to live with
adaptation
it.
takes
Yeah.
time.
Which is what some countries have decided to do. Sweden, other countries say, no,
Yeah.
it's not going away. Let's get on with our
Okay.
lives.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection. I'm not hearing anyone.
Good morning. Hello.
All right. So, yeah, while that is being sorted out, adaptation, and even we talk about climate change, making the necessary adaptations. The call is on now. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So how are you?
Come on, blessed, righteousness, Come on, hallelujah. So, I would just start, Raspal,
Yes, Raspal was our first caller.
but you're interested in Raspal.
Oh, he made inquiries as to how one could enroll.
son.
His son is interested in flying. Our guest is the director of maintenance at the new flight school that has been established at Tinston Pen.
You have the aviation.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Even though the man of Rasta, we must say money Raspal. Man of Rasta.
Who?
No, I mean, I was, I remember the man, but you know, we are feeling him. I do not think so. Oh, man, no, good. So, but you know, it's everything. It's personality. You know? Yeah, roots, man. So, long time turn over in life. When I go to church, it's an hour to live in Accra and God live in Accra. And you must students in there and do that.
Okay. But, all right. All right. Okay. All right. So what you calling to talk to us about today, my brother?
Come on. So when you have to right now in our environment, yeah, no pollution there now. Because the smoke and so them a do. And up there, no see them a burn and them things. Them things are good for the environment.
Okay.
So what we want to do now, what we want to do right now, as everybody are clean up everywhere. One more to know, why the people clean up them art and clean up the understand? Because you can't clean outside and inside nothing.
Okay.
The environment, youthful, even the mind is kind of about them as getting the physical part. Who me are the spiritually part of the body.
Okay.
It's not art, not the people art and feeling. Just like how them have to Christmas and see the new year have a new. You never try to have a new heart and a new mind.
Okay.
There's not, you know, me say I took out heart, because it's really no, You know, have to say it's the article is about the art, but the ways of the clean. So the
Okay.
environment must clean too. I want to clean spiritual cleansing. That's it.
Okay.
Make it better because the murder rate is going up.
Okay.
And it cannot come down without art. Because police officers can't stop crime because they can't do every at the same time. They must put love in the youth mind, so the youth mind is clean. So
Okay.
that's not where I want to you know.
True.
I don't want to talk about me. So bless up here.
All right.
My brother, thank you so much.
Come on.
Okay.
Right.
Well said.
We had very callers. But that is an issue. You said in terms of cleaning the environment, you have to clean up the inside. Because out of the abundance of the heart, you act and you think. So it's important, yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Jigsaw, how are
Good
you?
morning to you three. I'm fine, well enough. I'm soaring
You're
from what I've
soaring.
heard.
You're soaring.
From
You're
what I've
soaring
heard.
like an eagle this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to congratulate a gentleman. Can't quite remember his name right now.
The good thing.
Gooding.
Thank you very much.
It's
sir.
a good thing. It's a
Yeah.
good thing. Keep showing so high heights to go. I don't know if I can get on the clouds with you.
Well, you can try, no? You can relive some early dreams that you have. I don't. Did you ever have a dream of being a pilot, anything like that, Jigsaw?
No, but I work about still for about 12 years.
Okay. All right.
A little bit more. I was in the aviation industry in
Okay.
my early days. So I kept those guys flying. I was on the ground keeping them flying. Right?
Okay.
Well, as he said, there's more to do on the ground than in the
Yeah.
air.
Yeah, man, now who do you think?
Yeah.
Who do you think? But once you tell persons about organization of flying out, them think everybody flies.
That's true.
However, can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Let's go ahead.
Related. Or can you get some of the trainees, 3 or 4 trainees, on the program to talk about their experience, to help with the inspiration for youngsters that might have listened or will listen.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
I
Yeah.
can bring
Yeah, man.
some of the youngsters on.
Yes, because to your point, Jigsaw, this is only the first of about 3 or 4 sessions that we plan
Yeah.
to do with Mr. Gooding to just get the word
Right.
out and yeah.
Yeah, man. It's
So you want some
always
young
good to-
voices, some of the trainee
Not-
voices.
trainees to,
Yes.
to talk about their experience, to offer some inspiration or to pull along some youngsters.
All right, thank you, sir.
And this is what they want. They want the youngsters to see the
Well,
possibilities.
that suggestion is as much for him as it is for me.
Yeah, put it on the program I'm talking.
Yes,
I mean, he will
Well,
guide
he has
them,
to be willing and I have to be willing. So
Okay,
it appears
well,
we both are. Thank you very much.
Well, with the caring it, as you guys say.
The training. The trainees will come. Yes, man.
It is done.
All right. Take it easy.
So, thank you.
Very good. All right.
All right, then, Jigsaw. Thank you.
One of the things you'll find, the listeners to our program, and I think Best FM generally, very family oriented and nation building, always in the forefront of the mind, and wanting people to be strengthened in their self-esteem. And so when you get a suggestion like that, it's coming from the best possible place.
I wrote it down.
Yes, I know. The
yeah,
heart, yeah. So
yeah.
you come back.
And it's a useful thing too when you go into schools. If you can bring 1 or 2 of your
Yeah,
club members
I'll bring a few.
as an example.
I think each week I can bring one
You
person
can
that
have
I'm
someone.
invited. I can bring one
Yes,
person so they
yeah.
can tell.
You know-
We've given away a few scholarships, so I can bring one of those recipients.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, because they're your ambassadors
Yeah.
in out there, not just right now, but even into the future. Just as how you remembered that lady. Did you ever get her? You must have got her name, the lady who took
Yeah,
you.
man.
And you remained in contact with her?
Up to a few months ago, before her husband died, I
Yes.
they were a fundamental part of the training.
Yeah, destiny partners, we call them.
Yeah, and she came from the UK to Guyana and ended up living there. Never went back to UK unless it's for vacation.
Yeah.
So yeah, her husband built the engineering school in Guyana.
Oh, and she just knew that this youngster, will do things, and here you
Yes.
are.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's good. She's good.
I had an experience, without naming names. voracious reader throughout my childhood, even up to this age. And I love to like be outdoors and reading. You know, if you drive through a country area and you see somebody walking on the road reading, that would be me, because my mother would say, go buy something at so and so. And I have a book. I walk with my books.
I never crash.
I never what?
Crash.
No.
Can I read in here? You stamp to me. Hey boy, look where you're going.
Yeah, walk and read and crash.
Yeah.
Oh, Percy. You've been Percy the chick for a
long time. You know, read and crash. I bump up into something.
But
That's what I mean.
met, in the year that I was preparing for CXC literature, I was reading Shakespeare on the side of the road, just
Macbeth?
sitting on a wall in somewhere near York Castle, where they had this. It's like lots of trees by the side of the road, very shaded, very cool. And I'd been walking the neighborhood, and I sat to just go through, and a car pulled up, and I met someone who turned out to be a mentor, a supporter, an encourager of the highest order, right up to the time of his death.
Wow.
At one time he was Minister of Education, and I remember he came to Barbados while I was in Faculty of Law in Barbados, and one of the first persons, he invited me and my roommate to lunch. So just imagine Minister of Education visiting a foreign country, and he remembers a little girl that he met. I was 14 years old when I first met him. Over the years, he would explain to me why he stopped, and anytime he met someone else, that he just always remembered just the uniqueness of a young girl reading Shakespeare at the side of the road. So your story of this lady stopping for you, seeing a young boy crying and moving along, and just how it must have pulled at her curiosity and her heart. Say, why is he crying?
Yeah, and it was where the airport is.
How old were you?
I was 18 plus, going into 19.
Oh well, I was 14. I wasn't crying, by the way, but
and where the airport is. And where you have to go to the bus. It's a 1 mile foot walk unless you're driving, because the airport is in an area.
Yeah.
So your only choice is to walk or hitch a ride.
And you're walking.
So
and
I
crying.
walk in.
Yeah, ball.
Yeah, she stopped to give me. Probably she stopped to give me a drop, and then noticed
and
I
then
cried.
realized
That's what happened.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the sun hot.
I mean, I tell you, there's just so much in that story that tells you that even in your moment of great disappointment, your disappointment can be the thing that draws an angel to you. You know, in scripture it tells you that God draws near to your distress. You can get the attention of your creator by expressing your heart. And it is the contrite heart, even to this day, that pulls him to you. He responds. So those listening to us who are going through the tough moments, and it spill out. Just know that just that spilling out of your emotion and your passion for something can be the thing that draws an angel into your environment.
Yeah, and you know, along the way a lot of things happen. Like I applied for a scholarship, flight training, a company I was working with, and then director of the company, he's like, you know, I really want to send you to do flying. And I'm like, yeah, I really want to. He's like, you have a talent. But guess what's the problem? I said, what's the problem? He said, if I send you to learn to fly, who's going to fix the plane?
He's going to lose a good maintenance.
And I'm like,
your own excellence now standing in your way. Well, that is an all too common experience. And women experience that a lot, you know, because in the business place, when women are good administrators, but they could be good managers and higher, nobody wants to lose them, because who's going to be that person that makes everything run smoothly?
The people, you know.
For them to grow.
Well, I've learned that people will grow in any way.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. But then the same point about preparation.
Yeah.
Everything you're doing is preparation. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yeah, morning. Back taking another stroke with a willow.
Every time you say that, I
Mr.
think the Broadcasting Commission is going to shut us down.
No man, I shake you liquid it.
You can see. Hey, Jigsaw, you have her laughing away now. I don't know where she went a while ago, but anyway.
Don't burst.
Oh boy.
Listen.
Carry on, my friend.
What's the name of the gentleman? Sorry, you told me a while ago.
Gooding. Christopher Gooding.
Christopher Gooding.
Oh, Mr. Gooding. You log all that you've been talking about here, sir.
I see.
If I love all what
If
I've
you
been
log
hearing?
it.
if I log it,
Write it
Are you
down.
writing your book?
Are you writing your
Journal
book?
it then. Journal it.
that's
It's
a
better.
7-book
Journal.
series.
He says a 7-book series. It sounds like he's keeping notes.
It's a 7-book
Okay, well, it's useful when you journalize these things, man, and
we're
get them out there.
halfway there at Chapter Jamaica.
That chapter
Okay,
Jamaica.
okay.
Yes,
Good.
when-
Well, you're soaring ahead of my suggestions, so keep on the job. All right?
Thanks,
Let somebody else get in. Yeah,
Thank
you're good.
you. Yeah, you know that point he makes. We grew up hearing that diaries are for girls. And you think journaling is something, as you have your 2022 journal, so old-fashioned. It's actually paper, everybody who's listening. He has a literal book.
Me have one too.
Oh, gosh. All right, so you'd see me with my 3 devices.
But she's still right.
Still have a notepad.
I know you
Writing
still
is-
handwrite. I
yeah,
know that.
But that's cathartic.
I'm reducing my screen time.
Yeah.
Reducing the screen time.
Screen
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
No, but journaling, keeping a record of our experiences. There's no mystery to why so many Africans, and yes, although Christopher is from Guyana, he's very much African.
It's mixed.
Mix.
Yes, the African blood is there, but there is no mystery why so many of our stories and so many of our people don't know
about-
our stories.
We don't journal.
We don't journal. We don't keep a record of what we've been through, where we've been. So it's great when someone, 50 years down the line, looking at the school, can see that it was started by a young man who had this experience or that experience. We tend to think, when our company's licenses were brutally revoked, and we were getting sympathy from every corner, my mother said, "Don't they know that a whale was not born big? Everything starts small."
A whale.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She said, "Don't crush it because it's small. Don't see it in all its splendor today and think that is how it landed."
A very wise woman.
Always, I appreciated her. Hey, my mother she fight for me, I remember once coming on a flight coming out of New York, and we were in the first class cabin, and of course, only a few black people in the first class cabin. So I think 1 or 2 persons may have thought we had missed our seat. So me and my mom, and I think maybe someone, either my other sister or Lowell, but these 3 of us. So we're putting stuff in the bins overhead, and I was putting away my stuff, and some tourist type person was putting in, but taller than me, and almost knocked me in the head with a bag. I only knew it happened because I saw the look on my mother's face. I saw her looking as if she was gonna knock somebody out. I said, "Give a look that I have sometimes." And afterwards, she told me what it was, and I was reflecting. I said, I am 30 odd, whatever age I was at the time, and my mother still looked as if she would throw a punch for me. It was just a sweet moment, let's call it that. I just thought, I said, wow, I think you never stop really fighting
You're
for
not
those
parent.
who are your own. Are you a parent?
Not as yet.
So you've learned something here.
But I've had the unique opportunity of taking care of a few of my niece and nephews.
Okay.
You'd throw a punch for any one of them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd even throw a punch on my sisters. Anybody close to me, I go in all out for them.
All
But
right,
a
that's-
lot of people think we started with a lot of money, and like but it's not.
Oh,
so.
say, yeah.
It was a
You're
real
not the
journey.
whale that arrived
No,
in
no,
great size.
No, a lot of people think we
All right,
covered
it's
Guyana.
time for us to take a break. Actually, we blew past the 9 o'clock break. Let's take our break. Stay with us. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Morning Connection. We are here live at the Ligani Club, where we are always so warmly hosted on Thursdays. Ligani Club is a private members club. We have the largest on facilities for sporting under one roof, certainly in Jamaica. We have 8 tennis courts, including a practice wall, which most people think is a target wall. 6 squash clubs, a very nice sized swimming pool. I'm trying to remember. It is also my club. I'm a member of this club. Have been for a very long time, 3 decades at least.
Okay.
Yeah, from young days. Been a member of this club. The producer is also a member of the club, so we are being hosted by family, and where actually the show is situated in a part of the restaurant, JD's Urban Pub, where all kinds of Jamaican fare with a little international flavor is served. So JD's Urban Pub and the Ligani Club are hosting us, and yours truly is supported in the wardrobe department by Carmen's Collection and Furniture Land, where you can always find the exceptional and extraordinary piece for your home. All right, so that's my my word for the sponsors.
Yeah.
Please remember to call us. We are on 361-6583 this morning. That is the Thursday number, so write it down and keep it. On Thursdays when we are on the road, that is the number on which you can reach us, 876-361-6583. And I'm keeping an eye open because anytime now I expect to see the winner of our Ligani Club 1 month membership. She's coming by this morning to have breakfast at the club. She said I talked so much about the corn pork breakfast that
So she gonna get it today? You sure she don't come and go?
No, man, she's coming closer to the 10 o'clock mark.
Okay.
So that we can have a chat with her. In the month of December, we had a giveaway. The Ligani Club sponsored 1 month membership because they are promoting corporate membership. Are you a member of the Ligani Club, young Mr. Gooding?
To be a member.
Oh, well,
I used to come
before you
breakfast,
leave.
Before the this
With
new
the other,
establishment.
yes.
I used to come and then
Oh.
they shut down for a while due to COVID.
Yeah,
and
COVID,
stuff.
and you see how life goes. They reopen with JD's Urban Pub is the new restaurant. Oh, we have a caller on the line. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection. Good morning. Welcome.
Hello, welcome,
Welcome.
caller.
Welcome. Maybe I chat and it disappear.
Hello.
Oh, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection. I was about to say Ligani Club.
Welcome to the Ligani Club.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Best FM, better than the rest of the morning.
Oh, man.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Not bad.
Want to learn how to fly?
Yeah.
Not too late, you know.
Morning. Top of the morning to you, Lauren, and Pastor.
Our
I'm
guest,
on?
our
Yeah,
guest,
man, you're on, man.
Yeah,
you're
you're
on.
on.
We're hearing you clearly.
our guest is Christopher Gooding.
Oh, have I get to?
We have a guest at the table with us.
Okay. Oh, so we're not included in.
No, man,
No,
it's
not included.
Thursday and we're back on the road.
Have a guest
Oh,
from the
yeah.
Aeronautical School of the West Indies, Mr.
Oh,
Christopher.
I'm not one of those season callers, so I wouldn't know the
man.
routine.
No, but
That's
anyway,
right.
go ahead and speak. What is it that is concerning you? Is it the cabinet reshuffle or the...
That's what's
This
concerning
guy-
Pastor.
Yeah.
Several things.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
The reshuffle, to me, should have selected some of the other players because there are like 40-something people who were selected in the last election.
Right.
Right. So you have a pool of people to select from, but you have a lot of badminters who could have, get an opportunity, and that was not played out. So I think there are a lot of people who could have left, like Carl Chamida.
You're not going to leave out the Fox, man. The Fox always have a hand to play.
Right, and you could have changed Dr. Chung.
National security.
Yeah, I think you need somebody. You need a little change there,
Yes.
But remember, though, it is like a poison chalice, that national security. Because Montague was there early out and then it became Chang. And then Chang is now Deputy Prime Minister. So you have to understand some of the time the politics of the situation that plays out.
Right, but you see, you keep changing and keep changing until you find that right mix. Because if you keep one person there too long, you might never find the right person. You understand? If you stay there too long, it's like you just...
If you had to read the Prime Minister's mind, what would you say motivated him in making the changes that he did?
Is the public perception.
Okay.
Based on what the public is saying.
But the public has been saying, as you just mentioned yourself, that a change in the area of national security, and even to exclude Mr. Samuda, who some say is at an age when he should allow someone else a turn at bat. Those are strong sentiments coming out of the public. So you say then he has just selectively responded to some of what the public is saying.
Not necessarily, but this is what the PM wants to do things, but he's afraid of creating problems in the party.
So it's balancing the political imperatives against public outcry.
Right, but you have a good place of hand. You know, you have couple people well, so if you be able to do something and move without.
But to your point, if he's balancing the politics, those newcomers don't have the kind of power base that would make up for disturbing some settled and powerful relationships. I like your analysis. It does. It makes sense. What you're saying has a certain logic to it.
But the question, friend, is it the party above the Jamaican people?
That is how our politics played out, you know. Most of the time is really the party above the people. The people only fall when there's an election. That's when the people become important. But after, I think the party is really, you have to keep the party dancing.
So until you change the dynamics and the rules of play, and reduce the importance of the party structure, we're always going to have that particular problem.
Yeah, that's why we face the same problem years upon years upon years.
Well, he has created a new ministry, legal matters and constitutional legal affairs and constitutional matters. So I think that is a ministry that should be able to take on what the people are saying and push for those kinds of changes.
You see, that ministry was only created to make it seem as if there are changes, because let's say that ministry never come around. It would seem as if there's no change at all. So that's one throw into the mix to kind of balance things. The fact that the same set of people there. So that make a one thing more kind of mix, you know? Add a little thing to the thing.
But perhaps we could take something that is meant as a PR stunt and change it into something truly productive and beneficial. We the people could push for it to become something really beneficial to us, I think.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so let's see if Miss Malahoo Fort is ready for the action that is coming her way.
Right. So now the responsibility is turned back to us to agitate for real change, because for too long we have had these very PR stunts, but none come out of it. No real action that bring about change. And you've raised a very good point, my brother, in terms of saying let's do what we need to do in order to make that happen.
Right.
All right, thank you so much for sharing with us. I love the points that you have made. I hope others are listening and will, chew on it a little bit and see if they can make some changes of their own, take a position. Thanks very much. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But you are from Guyana, and the politics there is along racial lines, is it?
When vote time come.
When vote time come,
you divide and conquer.
Just in Jamaica, a line is drawn when it's time for election, right?
Create a divide, us against them.
What I'm afraid of is that here in Jamaica, when someone starts to learn how to fix the problem, we move them. That's what I'm afraid of, which might be a good thing because they may not be learning to fix the problem. And the next thing I always offer people is that politics and religion is a long-term discussion.
Okay.
However, when you play chess, in Jamaica you play draft as well.
Right.
When you in the game play, you don't see all the moves. When you're outside the game as a spectator, you see all the moves, you see all the winning positions. And then what I've realized with politics, oftentimes the ones outside of power has the solution.
When they get into power, them lose all the solution then?
I don't know how it change. But I don't know what changed. But so sometimes, you know, sometimes we gotta look at the context of things, how things are happening. We also gotta look at, you know, a lot of the resources they have to work with. Not saying anyone better than any other. I'm just saying we have to look at the resources, we have to look at the reaction, you know, we have to look at the way things are being done, the Jamaican population social disposition, you know, and how you deal with crime. Some people encourage the crime, some people discourage the crime. You
Give
know,
me some names. Who are the people encouraging the crime?
encourage the crime, but obviously the people who committing crime have to have supporters because
You raise that. That's an interesting sociological idea. Does crime need encouragement? Crime needs no encouragement, I think.
Okay.
you know, so
It's like a virus
Some people,
or a fungus.
some people
It
see
creates
it happening
it
and
creates
leave it.
its own energy, and then the rest of us try to stop it, to contain it, to restrain it.
They got some.
We have a caller on the line. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, Miss Lawrence and Pastor and the other man.
The other man is Christopher
Okay.
Gooding.
Are you the branch?
Not bad, you know, Pastor.
You heard the words of encouragement yesterday coming from somebody else.
Yes, man, you see, the thing will be to, you know, Pastor, the people don't get the true teachment.
Okay.
So the people don't know the truth. But right now I'm calling the world to a new kingdom on earth.
Okay.
So I want to understand if you really get the full knowledge of the branch or you don't read out yet.
No one
is-
get the full. Get the full.
No, this is Pastor. You're asking if Pastor has the full knowledge personally
Of the branch,
of
yes.
the branch.
Yes,
Yes,
and
sir.
you too. And you too.
I don't understand that. I understand what it is you're doing, and I says it's like the voice crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord. So that is a function that you have called to do. So I tell you, don't give up, keep pushing, 'cause it's gonna become a reality.
Pastor, hear this. It's from 1963 I'm on this road, you know.
That's a long time.
It is pain, blood, sweat and tears. It is not a easy road as some people are look on it.
True.
Right now, I am in the furnace of affliction. You will find that in Isaiah 48.
Okay.
So, we want people to read up the Bible and understand that this is fulfillment.
Okay.
It is not a man movement, it's a God movement.
True.
Because it's the fall of Babylon come. But because the people don't teach the true knowledge, they do not understand.
What are you calling the fall of Babylon branch?
The end of the end of the talk.
No, what are you calling? The pandemic is the fall of Babylon?
No man, the end of the divided kingdom, Daniel 2:40.
I know, but what in current affairs and happenings is the manifestation of the fall of Babylon? Is there a particular event that you
when you hear the branch is calling, behold the man whose name is the branch, for he shall go out of his one place, which is Zechariah 6:12 and 13. Read it.
Okay.
All right, my brother.
Then I want to tell the people, I am in this furnace of affliction now. I am a 1 foot man, you know.
Okay.
When I was on foot, I was moving right through from Clarendon to Kingston with a demonstration board. The beginning of it is fulfillment, foundation statement. And the end of it is the black man kingdom come at last.
Okay.
But because the people don't teach about the kingdom, then teach how Jesus will come, then don't have no knowledge of what I'm saying. No people claim say he's a madman, you know.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, it can be found in your King James Bible.
I'm interested in that last part of your board, your declaration that the black man kingdom has come at last.
Yes, man. Then upon 75, you know, and the people don't understand. Although Marcus Garvey tell them about me, them still don't understand because they are brainwashed with the Babylonian statement.
Okay.
Looking for Jesus to come and not his government to increase.
Okay.
I call many churches and none of them don't know that Jesus is a government.
Okay.
The system.
I am doing a writing from 1975 for the people to understand the thing that is in the Bible. Enough people call it foolishness, enough don't read it. Because one man said to me, say, when I was telling a man about the branch and a radio, I called the other man. The man said, you know, if you tell him them there's something there, what about those people that over the world that talk about Jesus?
Okay.
But talk about Jesus is not the fulfillment. The fulfillment is what is in the Bible that the people to see.
All right, Branch. All right. So now getting a better understanding, but we have another call online. So see you next week. All right.
Tell me something. You know, get the real call now yet.
If you get the what?
The letter.
No.
No, we haven't got no letters yet, Branch. So you need to send it
You know
in.
what the letter signed in September.
Okay.
So
but
I wonder what happened.
No, I'm wondering if you had the address.
Correct.
The correct address.
all right. So you will send it to us again.
East Bloomberry Road.
Which one? No, it's 4 East Blue.
Bloomberry Road.
Yes.
Agley Park Road.
We check again, but
okay, the producer gonna have them do a search for me because I've got other correspondence from other listeners.
we don't get yours
But
again.
I didn't get yours.
All right then.
All right, my brother. Thank
a
you
good
so much.
weekend
Have
here,
a good
Branch.
weekend. 'Cause
Good.
this is
Take care.
yeah.
All right.
Take care.
There's another call. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. So I was just talking about the politics in Ghana. So now you guys have come into oil.
Yeah, always been there.
Yeah.
It's always been there, but somebody has finally
Have enough
reserved.
motivation to extract it, I should say.
Or motivation.
To extract it. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's oil
So is
there.
it creating wealth for the people or just for a few?
Well, it's certainly creating wealth for the people. How much people it's creating wealth for, I'm not sure.
That's what me ask you because you know now when this happen, only a few
Well,
get.
is either it's gonna be a Dutch disease or better than. And if a few people benefit only, that's gonna be a sad situation. But if everybody benefit in some way, then it's gonna be good. But I can tell you, a lot of people in Guyana has started to earn a lot more money.
Okay.
A lot of people in Guyana so has also become a lot poorer. So you know, it's
life.
yeah.
Hold on,
It's like-
explain. So a lot of people are earning more money and some people have become poorer. Explain
Because
that.
well, with the driving demand for simple commodities, because Guyana local content law prescribes that the oil company buy certain amount of products from Guyanese market. So with supplying them now, the demand increase, and with the increase in demand becomes an inflation in
Price goes
price.
up.
So now price gone up. The dollar inflated a little, so the cost of buying it becomes more expensive.
All right.
So
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yeah, blessed good morning. Blessed good morning. It was something I want to say. It's a minute. You know, I heard one of the panels say some people so like who have preached good, some people have preached bad, and you must push it across me. It's true. I heard it that you know say and I said why. Then love what I want because they love the know that way I want. And that's correct thing. And that's the man in knowledge in knowledge.
No.
And I encourage you them even look at them. And
No. Hold on. I've missed what you have been saying. Hold. What have you just said? That somebody called and was doing what?
Oh, man, no call, man, no call. I tell about my community.
Oh, your community. Okay.
Yes, just like how you have to say, you have people God and love and you have people evil. When your man said that the panel where they say they are good and evil, that people are telling people that are good, that people are evil.
Right.
Yeah, and you must put aside this real thing, miss, yes, miss, too. So, blessed, yeah?
Blessed. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Remember, you can call us on 876-361-6583. Waiting a call. So what you have said is that it has had a good and a bad side to it in terms of the general population. Are you saying it's not seeing the impact of the oil?
No, everybody's seeing the impact of it.
Yeah,
right?
but some people getting good, some people getting bad.
But in anything, because prices have gone up, some people would not be able to afford certain things anymore until the salary starts to match that, which takes time. So most people will benefit, and some will not, and it's just a natural part of life. You know, some people there who their homes are positioned strategically to rent to the oil companies, so they would make a lot of money off of renting the homes. Some people are, the cost of building homes have gone up.
Okay.
You know, it's still way cheaper than Jamaica, thank God, but the cost of building homes have gone up. So now a single mother who's trying to build a home, the cost would have gone up on her. The good thing though is the Guyanese government always supply amount of homes annually built.
Because I saw that, because recently it was in the news that they reinstated where you could get 1 month's salary that was for the armed forces without paying taxes.
Yeah, well, that's always been there. One government choose to reduce it because they want to reduce spending. Well, now comes our wealth say come back in. I think one of the reasons Guyana has always been looked at as poor. To me, we are wealthy, but I always look at
Guyana is like Africa. Guyana is
because we spend our money differently. Like the things that I take for granted in Guyana, I no longer take for granted because in Jamaica I have to pay for it.
Okay, so like what you take
dental care in Guyana it's free, and every other village there's a dental health clinic.
That comes out of Forbes and
Chedi Jago and Legacy. Yeah. So here I have to pay for that. You know, in Guyana you get spectacles. Anybody above 65
so
free. Anybody under 65 you get a government certificate voucher valued about $50 or more.
So the welfare side of things,
you know,
way better.
Yeah, with things I take like NIS and in Guyana we don't pay education tax, and school is actually free. There is no money to secondary school. There is no fee you're paying, and parents get uniform, books, textbook.
Oh, that still happens in Guyana?
Yeah.
I thought that when you
it actually causes problems because they're giving you more now.
They're giving you more?
Yeah, so you're getting more. You know.
So you say probably should go to Guyana and live.
Well, maybe if the population increase, then get less money. So you get less.
Yes, because there is that too. That with a small population, sometimes you can do more. But the policies are there and the systems are there, and people are allowing it to work, which is what makes all the difference. What is it? I mean, this is not fair, but the level of corruption that you see in
third
Jamaica.
world politics.
So you see, once it's people and money.
As
trouble.
long as you live in a third world country, there's going to be some. And even if there is no corruption, someone is always going to find something to complain about.
Yeah.
Even if something is as transparent as the glass of water, somebody's going to find a problem with it. Maybe it's not too cold enough.
Find a problem with
maybe
the glass.
It's not warm enough. Maybe the glass has fingerprints. We don't know. But people always find, when they can't understand things, they always find a problem with it, right? And sometimes I'm against corruption, right? But sometimes when you can't find something and it seems a little odd, people always say, oh, it's corruption. But you know, you gotta really look into it. I think we always
critical literacy we've been talking about.
To, you know, like skirt things on a broad brush because we don't understand. And then the funny thing is, when one side is benefiting and the other is not, it is perceived as corruption.
Yeah, you hear the outcry.
Okay.
Even in
all
the
right,
United States,
we've had a wide-ranging conversation. We're gonna take a break now. station break, this one. Oh yes, 9:30. When we come back, we'll wrap up our conversation with young Mr. Gooding, and we'll take a few more calls. Let me just repeat the number. Write it down before we take the break. 876-361-6583. Please give us a call. We're going to be right back. Welcome back to the Morning Connection, and thank you for sticking with us. Our guest this morning, Mr. Christopher Gooding, we've kept him here for as long as he permitted us, because the truth of the matter is we are in love with what he's doing. If you have children, grandchildren, you yourself want to be exposed to learning to fly, to any of the many job opportunities that are available on the ground. And you know, when he said it, you kind of know it, but when he outlined it, you see obviously there are more jobs on the ground in aviation, in the aviation industry, than in the air. So this school, which is operational now, they opened their doors in 2020. COVID may have given them a side swipe like it did everyone, but they're open for business, promoting the availability of these services in Jamaica and the whole Caribbean. So if you have relatives, even if you have relatives in North America who can't get into flight school on that side of the world, they can do it here. The program, first round of it is 5 months to get your private pilot license.
And they're working on a commercial.
And you can be enrolled in the maintenance division of it.
No, the maintenance is not approved.
I'm sorry, what is the 1800 enrollment
There's a
one?
ground school.
Ground school,
That is ground school.
What is ground school?
Well,
tie up the plane and some breeze don't blow it away?
Before you learn to practically fly the plane, you got to do the theory. So ground school is the theory aspect of it.
Okay. So, and if you've been listening to him, you'd have heard that Christopher's management team have broken the program into as many fractions as they can to make it affordable and convenient, because his own journey is one that required him to get his training in that bite-sized way so that he could be here doing this today. Christopher, we have a caller on the line. Oh, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good
Very
morning.
good program.
Oh, thank you.
I am delighted every morning I have to tune in. I am just excited about this flying thing.
Aha.
I have a young guy whose heart is on it, but I don't know what is the qualification to get it.
Qualification
five
for
CXC subjects minimum or equivalent, and it doesn't have to be any specific subjects. Just
5 subjects.
Just 5 subjects. Minimum
5
CXC or equivalent. So if you didn't do CXC but you have the equivalent, then that's fine.
Okay. It's very interesting. Okay, I'll see if that person qualifies, and then
What about joining the club?
Joining the club, you don't need no qualification to join the club.
Yeah, because he has
Okay, how do you join?
Okay.
So aeronauticalschool.com, that's the website, and on the website has all the information. Right? However, if you wish to call us, you can dial 454-7547. Or you can WhatsApp us on that number as well. But once you remember the name Aeronautical School, the website is aeronauticalschool.com. So I'll repeat the number for you once more. The number is 876-454-7547.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, and thank you for listening to us. We appreciate everyone who makes the time. Oh, he wants to know your age or the age of the person who's interested.
Her age.
Oh, your age.
My age?
Yes.
Okay, I am 70 plus up.
70 plus.
70 plus, yes.
Because she sounds vibrant. I know she was a fine.
He's loving the vibrancy in your voice. So thank you so much for calling us. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
That's interesting that you want to find out that she could become a part of the club.
Of course you can.
I was actually
no age limit in
when
flying.
she called about it and she sounds so vibrant, something told me, look, you can invite her for a little visit.
To come out to visit.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
okay.
you know she's continuing to listen, so just know she can call us or call Christopher.
Yeah, if
and
we
just
have her number, we can just take her number and match her. And she can bring the young male or
and bring
female.
the person who is interested.
Yeah, and I'll just extend the courtesy to them.
Oh, but
I love it, a spontaneous giveaway.
yes, somebody's saying, what about the relevance of maths? Maths is not one of the things that they need in terms of flying.
Listen, maths is needed, but we teach you the maths we want.
That you
ensure
need
know. We're
to-
not leaving it to chance that you learned it in school.
Okay.
So everything you need to learn about flying aircraft, we teach you. We don't take it.
Okay.
You don't take it for granted that
No,
there's
no,
a storehouse of knowledge.
You learn physics
Yeah.
and you learn
Okay.
this is
But if you
the-
have that, it makes it easier.
Easier for you to
But
comprehend.
I love it, and you know that has to be the approach to skills training.
Yeah.
Sometimes the matriculation requirements are so onerous
Felt
and
out everybody
off-putting.
said it is a
Yes,
barrier to
that-
people
right.
coming on.
No,
Yeah.
no, there's no barrier.
So Michael asked, if it is any subjects, what about the relevance of math? Math is relevant, sure,
But you
but they're
teach
gonna
you-
teach you what you need to know anyway. So don't let that be
teach
off-putting.
you
You
geography
got
that
a
you
grade
need to
3
know.
in math, or maybe you failed math outright. Still come.
Yeah, we teach you the geography you need to know, the physics you need to know, the maths
Yes,
you need
when
to
I
know,
was
the
there, I saw the chart with all the different cloud formations,
Yes,
and it was a nice little refresher course. You're a geography man, so I go. Did you? Yes, and I know. Yes, so that you do teach.
Cirrus Nimbus,
I could
Cumulus.
see from the and the combinations too, because you know we might teach it in a kind of stratified way, but what you see when you're up there is what they teach you to look out for,
Yeah, to
and you know
avoid
weather can come at any time.
that. In Jamaica,
to
we know
avoid.
that for sure.
Yes.
That's rain that's coming.
Actually, the
in play.
Caribbean is an excellent place to have a flight school because you can see every type of climate or weather system
Yeah,
in
that-
short order.
Well, Jamaica is unique with that. Very
Yeah,
much.
is it because of the mountains and the many?
I don't know. Maybe one day I'll ask God.
We're just special. All right, well,
It's true, you know,
we're
because
special in every kind of way.
The mountains that run across the ridge of Jamaica forces you to have different microclimates
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Jamaica, and so therefore almost anything grows in Jamaica.
Yes, and then with climate change and also the willful intervention of man when we're cutting down trees and burning coal and building up this and that, you begin to create different environments.
Well, our trainer is actually eco-friendly.
Yes?
Yeah, our
Explain.
training aircraft, it's actually built purposely
Well, yes.
for training, and it's eco-friendly that we use this.
You use scraps.
No, not scraps, but the fuel consumption.
LNG?
I'm being wicked.
The fuel consumption is low. That's why we can bring the cars down so low. And yes, we use LED lights and things. So, but it's purpose built. So you're not using big onerous aircraft to train people. You know. So
Okay.
it's actually eco-friendly with respect to aircraft consumption.
But that's so important in terms of the training. But I like what you said. 5 subjects, it can be any 5, and then the maths and geography and the physics that you need. If you don't have it, they'll teach you.
We teach you it. We don't leave. Even if you learn it, it's a refresher.
Okay.
Now, why aviation is economical? Driving to Negril takes you about 4 hours, and you drive your vehicle, and you don't realize you burn about 10 gallons of gas.
That's true. 10 gallons, not so much, depending on if it's there.
Yeah, well,
Half a tank gets you there.
half a tank gets you there, right? We burn fuel in any case.
Right.
The aircraft gets you there in 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
So you're good.
See, so
I take a helicopter.
comparatively, it's a little bit more expensive than driving, but what will you pay to save an hour of time?
And the impact on the environment too.
It's crucial, yeah.
You know, wow.
The carbon emissions from
Yeah, so
driving.
you saving time.
Saving time, saving the environment. So
I've lost my voice.
that's important.
Need a bottle of water.
So what did you say? We're coming to the end of this interview. We've had a wonderful journey the last 3 years to get to where you are at. But then the journey started as a youngster, 18, 19. But it started before that when you
Yes.
shared the
I lost
story
my
of
voice.
the importance of education. Because remember that question that your mom posed, what it was again?
She asked, if I want the shoes, right, then all I have is the shoes. She don't know what I become. But if I choose the books, I can probably own the shoe store.
Okay.
So it was along that line. So you choose between having the shoes, right? In Jamaica love Clarks.
Yes.
So having the Clarks or having
the Prime Minister
knowledge,
loves Clarks.
right? to then
need water.
earn unlimited amount of you know what you need in life. So the question is, what is important,
Mm-hmm.
right? And sometimes some things are important to us, but it's not really what we need.
True.
You know. And I always tell people, everyone wants to make it big.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to make it. Write that one verse.
Mm-hmm.
Write that one chapter, that one story.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Learn that one skill.
One step at a time.
Just try to make it every day, and then eventually it will grow into, everybody in Jamaica they're trying to get a bus.
Well, we say one cocoa fill basket.
Yeah.
So we know you put it in one at a time.
Yeah.
One at a time.
So don't try to look for the big score. Just keep at it.
And you're stuck
Alright.
to your vision.
Well, yeah, because it
Was coming to Jamaica a chance thing for your? You remember you said your wife came here,
Yeah, she came here.
and then you saw the opportunity.
Yeah, I came and she needed some assistance. Something.
She was studying here?
She is studying.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
At the University of Wesley. So I, seek out employment, got a job. Then I started to see the whole, and I started to learn why it went downhill in aviation sector. So in learning that, I actually learned
What not to do?
Where to take
what
it.
to avoid, and how
Well,
to rebuild it.
we have to do our wrapping up, and my voice has been assaulted. I'm trying to do a comeback.
That's what I'm saying, But it's
Yeah,
been
so
a
we
very
need to
good
start doing the
conversation. A
thank
very
yous.
good conversation.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah,
not only
so
about the
wrapping up.
school, but about life, about persisting with the vision, about crying, igniting the passion in terms of your journey here. And I don't think you've reached 40 years yet.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so it says to us that an inspiration that have a vision, work hard of it. As you said, don't think about making it big, just think about making it.
Yeah, just
and
think about making
we
it.
move you forward, right?
Because
Yeah.
every day it will grow. What can I do today to help me?
Move towards
Maybe I
them.
just need to wake up and write that one job application.
If you're the lion, you have to run faster than the antelope so you can get dinner.
Hey!
If you're the antelope, you have to outrun the lion so you can stay alive. Just whatever you wake up, just know you're gonna run. All right. On that note, thank you, Christopher. It is
you,
the
Bob.
first of hopefully a few
fun.
good visits. You had fun.
Yeah,
That is our aim.
I didn't even realize 2 hours went by.
Yes, and it's good timing too because the smell of the breakfast is just reaching us now. Can you smell it? I
Waking
can't
up the
solve
worms.
it's
Waking up the worms.
All right, thank you so much. We will repeat the information about Christopher's school in days to come, and perhaps not just now because we got to do our wrapping up. Thank you to the guests. Thank you to the listeners who I know you're out there enjoying what we're doing. We're so grateful for the support. We can feel it. And to those who have chatted with us online, thank you so much. We need more people to join us online. But those of you who are here, you are precious in your small numbers. I won't even say how many, how small it is, but just understand that we have mustard seed faith that will move mountains. So, to the crew, Andre, engineer, you've taken us through a great morning. We actually had the calls coming in, and yeah, I feel like it's getting there. And to the producer who is busy training Andre, and looking quite pleased. Thank you so much, Mr. Lawrence. Pastor Percival, always a pleasure to sit beside you. Thank you again.
To keep you out of trouble.
And well, you didn't succeed very well this morning. You need a little refresher.
In terms
on
of
the
keeping you
keeping me
out of trouble. I'll get into trouble together as a dynamic duo. And be ourselves.
Thursdays.
Yes.
Yeah. But thank you all. We're gonna leave you now with some good music as always. Lloyd back in the studio. Oh, I forget
you
my
very much,
manners.
Lloyd.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Andre is gonna have your breakfast this morning, because courtesy of JD's Urban Pub, our guests and our crew are treated to a fine Jamaican breakfast, and I really appreciate them for that. In the coming days, we will talk to you about what's on offer at the restaurant in the club, and we'll also talk to you about what promotions and what's special at Diggany Club for the season. Thank you to the Diggany Club, the staff, and those who accommodate us so well, and also JD's Urban Pub. Tracy, thank you. We're missing Catherine, but Tracy is doing an excellent job taking care of us. I lost my voice, and I've had any number of options to restore it, and as you can see, it is back. So with that said, Have a great weekend. Thursday is our Friday.
Yes.
Because this is the last day of our show for the week. And we'll see you again, God willing, when we take
Come
back
back
our
on
position
Monday.
in studio on Monday. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Morning Connection, signing off.
So you guys work together.